It is Thursday, August 11th, back here in the studio, a jam-packed episode highlighting some fans, giving away some vinyls, a special guest from the Jock and Nerd Podcast. We're talking a stacked Whatchu Watchin', and for the meat, Miss Marvel on Disney+. That's Scotty Scoop, that's the Giggler. I'm Logan. This is Mostly Superheroes. Hello and welcome to Mostly Superheroes, a pursuit for the world's best stories with an emphasis on live-action superhero stuff. I'm your host, Logan, back here again in St. Louis, Missouri, hanging out in the studio, probably just having too much fun. That's Scotty Scoop. Scoop. How you doing, Scotty?
Oh, I'm feeling great. It's been a great couple of weeks.
We have had a great couple of weeks.
All kinds of activities.
Just fun, a little sun,
Yep.
and a little together time. Hey, Giggler.
Hi there.
How's Andy?
I'm great, man. How are you?
I'm feeling real good.
It's a day.
It's a day.
We had a nice dinner
Uh-huh.
as always, but here we are.
Oh, we're going to talk about it. We're back. It's the MCU all over again, and a lot more than that. We just got a jam-packed. We had an event recently. We're going to talk about it. We got a special guest showing up for you guys later. Just a lot of good vibes hanging in the studio. This is Season 3, Episode 10, making our way through the year. Hope you guys are having fun, and we appreciate you joining us each and every week. We know there's a lot of podcasts out there, and that you show up for this one, we're glad to have you. And because of that, we always open up with the fans.
Fan mail.
We always open up the show with fan mail because it is Mostly Superheroes. And we do have a member page now. You got to go to mostlysuperheroes.com/support. There's so many ways to join the club, to get involved for free, if you want to throw us money, any way that you do it. And we always love for you to call us at 754-CALL-LOG. That's 754-225-5564. Save it in your phone as Mostly Superheroes. It's not right for you guys on the screen. Don't worry. I'll fix it in post. But what you eating?
Nom 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 nom.
That was the weakest. Yeah.
Nom nom nom.
Jesus, Andy. Nom nom. I feel like you're writing down what you
what
were.
is this, a podcast for babies?
That was King Shark.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That was a King Shark reference.
Thanks.
Well, this week we ate out.
It's Shark Week.
We actually ate. Is it Shark Week?
No, that was last week, I think.
Oh, don't lie to us.
I thought it was next week.
Oh, boy. We don't know where Shark Week is.
This isn't Mostly Sharks.
This isn't Mostly Sharks.
Sorry, folks.
We did eat at a nice restaurant, though, and we went out this time. We usually eat in. I usually pick it up, or we order, or we cook. This week in Maplewood in St. Louis, Missouri, a nice little spot called The Post.
Yeah.
You guys, first timer.
First time.
You've been there before.
Many times.
And they got Philly cheesesteaks. This is their specialty. They got burgers. They got really great tots.
All the good bar foods.
Really great bar food, but great salads, too. They got some healthy mixes. I had the buffalo chicken salad. Andy?
I had the buffalo chicken Philly. Was amazing.
Yes.
With some tots on the side.
We had a couple.
Equally as good with a couple beers.
Couple of beers. And Scotty?
Club sandwich and fries. And a nice, cold, refreshing Blue Moon.
It was delicious.
Yes.
What did you think of the place? Like the ambiance?
Oh, I like it.
I mean, it's like sports bar, but like kind of big, spacey, just good vibe.
I could see in the back they had some games, some darts, they had some shuffleboard.
Yep, and they got a few locations here in the St. Louis area, maybe even beyond, but it's The Post in Maplewood. Man, we had a great dinner, and we'll absolutely go back. Thank you guys for the great grub. Go check them out if you're in town or if you live in town. The Post. All right, next up in this Mostly Superhero Squad, that's our private, free, exclusive group on Facebook. You can go join it for absolutely free. Go search Mostly Superheroes in your Facebook app, and we'll pop right up. I wanted to welcome some recent members. You may have joined even in the last few months, but I wanted to at least give a shout out to Danielle, Teresa, Lindsay, Lucas D, Jen, L, and Hike. Y. I hope I said that right. Hike. What would you think?
I agree.
Sounds good.
All right, Hike. Guys, thank you for joining the squad. These guys just joined us recently. I've actually finally found the place in Facebook where I can access this information. So we'll start bringing more stuff like this into the show because we finally figured out the Facebook admin tools. And then we also got to highlight on YouTube a comment from Cinema 9 Podcast. That's a YouTube channel. They watched our episode on Thor, Love and Thunder. That was the one right before this one. Great review. I like the channel. Subbed. I mean, what do you think I did immediately?
We'll be subbing right back.
That's exactly what I did. I went to well, you know what I do. I go back to it, I watch a video or two, and then I sub because these guys are bringing it. Cinema 9 Podcast. Check these guys out. Hey, guys, if you're listening, thanks for the comment. We'd love to do a little collab with you sometime. You guys have a great program over there. I watched a few. Check them out. Cinema 9 Podcast on YouTube. We had an event recently. Our second in-person event of the year in 2022 at Well Spent Brewing Company. We partnered with Tiny Superheroes, local do-good organization. Scotty, Andy, you guys played in the tournament. You met a lot of the folks. We had a lot of familiar faces that came back, a lot of new faces, but still a great turnout, double elimination. Scotty, talk to me about the time you had.
It was a great time. I got absolutely demolished, but I felt great doing it.
Yeah, you made it kind of far. We're going to show the video.
Yeah.
We're going to show the video. Andy,
Right.
how'd you do?
I didn't do that great, but I had fun.
Yeah.
I had many beers.
Yes, delicious
We had
beer.
a great time, raised a good amount of money, I believe.
Yes.
All for a good cause.
Absolutely.
For the kids.
Yes,
So,
Tiny Superheroes, they had their merch there. They had a campaign going for the night. I think that made some money. And they said that, you know what they actually said? They said, they've been doing this 10 years, making these superhero capes for these kids. They do events like this all the time. And we're just this, Super Smash Brothers tournament on a Friday night. And she looks at me and she goes, I have never had more people and more donations in the first hour of an event that I have at this event.
Wow.
And apparently
Really?
everybody that came up was doing a campaign for the kid, sponsoring a cape,
Nice.
buying 2 shirts, buying a hoodie.
Beautiful.
The people that came out, we just can't say, thank you guys.
Exactly.
You love to hear things like that.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why we always say, right? We did the first one. We had fun. We can't all be having fun and not helping somebody else somewhere else have
For
fun.
sure.
And we do have a nice little video. It's only a few minutes long. We can talk over it. It's mostly music. Let's just throw it on right now. It's on the screen.
Well Spent Brewing Super Smash is underway.
All right, there's the baby. Got great pictures here.
Hey, Ari.
There's the squad, Shanna, our friends Jen and
We're
Aaron.
here at Well Spent Brewing Company for Super Smash Brothers. Here with Robin from Tiny Superheroes. Robin, tell us who you guys are. What are you doing here?
Yeah, first of all, this is awesome.
Yeah.
If you're not here, you're missing it, But Tiny Superheroes, we empower extraordinary kids all over the world who are overcoming illness or disability. We send them superhero capes, and awesome things like this make it possible.
Very cool. And you partnered with us, mostly superheroes, Well Spent Brewing. We got a St. Louis trifecta here, a little do-good, a little beer, and you brought a whole crew with you here tonight, too. So you guys ready to have a good time?
I cannot wait. I have no idea what's about to happen, and I cannot wait.
Yeah, you weren't here last time. It gets a little competitive.
I can't wait. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you for doing this, and we'll see you around. We might talk to you later tonight.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
The controller, the guy that made his own controller,
That guy blew my mind.
Danny P.
What's up, Dan? He's here again.
Andy hard at work on the brackets.
Oh, yeah.
The big screen, that was great. I love that big screen. I will play any game.
We're here
up there.
at Well Spent Brewing Company. This is Most Superheroes. Scotty Scoop, what happened? You were in round what?
I think this was round 4. I made it really far, and I got a bye in the first 2 rounds, and then I lost twice in a row.
All right, welcome back. And what round did you make it to?
I made it to the second round of the losers bracket. I played one more game than I did in February, but that's only because we did double elimination this time.
Well,
Thanks to whoever made that decision.
doing well in the tournament. So we keep trying, we keep losing, and maybe I'll have to play next time. I don't know.
I was going to say, at least most of us played.
2 out of 3 of us play.
Yeah. How'd you do, Logan?
Well, yelling into the microphone to announce when people are playing is a big part of the night. So good job. We have a great going.
Giggler, looking good.
Oh yeah. 7 beers deep at that point, probably.
Oh, man.
They were going down good.
They are delicious. Well spent. Thank you for that.
Well
Most
spent. The
importantly.
venue was so fun.
He's getting first prize tonight.
I can't wait to see. I think it's gonna be Chris. Chris is gonna win, and I can't wait to see what he picks as his choice meat of the show.
You got the same pick?
Oh yeah, Chris P for sure. Hope he joined us in studio. That would be pretty cool.
That's right. Well said. All right, first place.
Here we go. First place.
Andy, why don't you medal him? This is we'll make it ceremonious.
His face. He's like, what?
He's like,
What is happening?
Tiny superheroes. This is like a dream right now, I bet. All right, we got this. We got a special surprise. You got a hoodie coming too. I think you got a hoodie coming. I'm pretty sure you got something big coming. And this is the feature of our podcast. If you throw it away, I want you to shred it. I don't want anybody to find it, because you better write us in and tell us what you want us to talk about, and we want you to talk about it with us. Use that. How about that, Chris? Give it up for Chris! Oh, it's a well-spent beer. Authority and Chris see more about the beer.
There they are. Those are winners. James, Authority, and Chris. These guys came out, killed it.
Jamba Juice.
Oh my
They killed it.
God.
Oh my
There's the
God.
crew. There's Laura from Well Spent. Robin, the whole crew, all of us. Hey, those medals, Andy. Way to go, Etsy.
look at all the smiles.
Yeah.
I mean,
Everybody was happy.
guys.
Something I'm honored to be a part of.
Yeah. It's one of those things where you kind of look back and you're like, all those people showed up and, like, I mean, smiled a lot. And you know how many people came up and said, when are you doing this again? Is this like a once a year thing? I go, we're talking about maybe once a quarter.
Yeah.
And a couple people were like, how often is a quarter? No, I'm just kidding. I was like, I'm just kidding. Every few months, though, I think we should try to do this. Well
For
spent,
sure.
Tiny Superheroes. We're on the hunt for more. We want more people, more local groups and charities, the do-goods, the beers, the companies, anybody that's trying to uplift other individuals, make a little honest earning. Like, we want to be part of that. So let's just keep it going. At mostlysuperheroes.com/events, you can sign up to be in the next event whenever it is, and you can watch this video that we just showed you. Can't wait to do one more. A highlight, lots of fan mail today. We have a winner announcement.
Oh, boy.
That's right. We were giving away a vinyl, Monsters by The Midnight. I am pleased to announce Ann G is our winner.
Nice.
And not Angie,
And
Ann.
ANN
G.
space G.
Space G. She emailed, she confirmed, she sent the address. It's on its way.
beautiful.
Do you guys, it's on its way to her
on its
already.
way. Oh,
It is currently.
okay.
Congratulations.
Well, what do you guys think's happening with this one?
You're
It's
gonna-
going to the Giggler.
Nice.
Oh,
I sent her a fresh one. I was like, Andy can have this one.
wow.
Happy being on this podcast.
It was my
Happy
half. It
listening.
was my half birthday a couple weeks ago. So
Well, now you've ruined it. Give it back. Now you don't get to keep it. And then
too bad.
we have Ann. Congratulations. You've already confirmed. It's on its way. We can't wait. And Ann did say she might jump on the pod with us, maybe.
Nice.
So we might get her on. And it's easy. It's that easy to win. And we had so much fun giving this away. I was like, we got to do another one.
Of course.
So, Scotty, it's your birthday present.
Oh, man. I've been waiting.
Vaxxis 2,
Window of the Waking Mind.
Window of the Waking Mind. I always want to say
Man.
Window of the Walking Mind.
It is a
Window-
beautiful cover.
It's a beautiful cover. The inside, you're in for a treat.
Oh, yeah. I
happy,
can't wait.
Happy birthday, Scotty. But
Oh,
beautiful
beautiful.
listener. Yeah, you guessed it. We're giving one away too.
Nice.
We are so into Coheed right now. We saw them just a couple days ago. I don't even want you to say anything too much yet, because guess what? It's in our Whatchu Watchin.
Nice.
Listener, we have a QR code on the screen. You can scan it right now. It'll get you to mostlysuperheroes.com/contest. Enter to win this vinyl, and we'll send it to you. We're just going to keep this going. We're just
Yes.
going to keep spreading the love, bringing the music, and giving it out to fans. Boys,
I feel
enjoy your records.
I feel the
Yes.
love. Thank you. Can't wait to have you over and play it.
Hell yeah, I can't wait, buddy. All right, guys, with that, let's finally get into some news.
News and rumors.
News and Rumors is back. Scotty, we're going to have one of those packed ones. Hope you're okay with that.
It's been a lot of news lately,
You,
folks.
you got your notebook ready. we got a guest on earlier. We kind of touched on this. You can look forward to that later in the episode. But right now, it's all about the news. I want to start with this one. Scotty, kick us off.
Oh, Batgirl. Axed. Basically made.
Yep.
$90 million they spent on this. And DC they're hitting the reset button. And they're writing this off on their taxes.
What happened? Like, what actually happened? They have announced this. This is being shelved. What is going on here?
I don't know if they weren't happy with the product. I don't know if, there was a Warner Brothers and Discovery merger.
Yes, this has been just announced.
And I think they're just trying to hit the reset button. And they're like, we don't want to muddy the waters of what's going on and what we're going to transition to. I don't think this fits. And it's gone. It's gone.
Never a good sign.
Along with a multitude of other DC properties.
Give it to us.
The Flash, gone.
And, I mean, it's hard not to mention that
show,
movie.
The Flash show.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
CW,
The
Flash is it ended early.
Yeah, they cut it
done.
at 13 episodes.
Season 9.
Final season coming
done.
up.
Final season coming up?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
More to come. One more.
Yeah, this coming up season 9
will be it.
It was cut short.
Okay.
And they're not doing any more.
And the Arrowverse is basically dead.
The Arrowverse is dead. They've killed Batwoman, Legends of Tomorrow.
Yep.
The Wonder Twins movie that they were going to make. They were talking about the Michael B. Jordan Superman film. Scrapped.
What?
Yeah.
We announced that on the show like a year and a half ago.
There was going to be a Strange Adventures show.
Oh, who's that?
Which is it was basically going to kind of focus maybe a little like Legends of Tomorrow with different heroes, different episodes. Every episode is going to be something new.
Not happening.
No, not happening. The things that are still on, Aquaman 2, which I have heard they have replaced Michael Keaton's Batman with Ben Affleck.
So Ben Affleck's in this movie
which
now.
We thought was done.
I didn't even know.
We didn't think we were going to get Ben Affleck.
Keaton Affleck was out.
Yeah.
I never heard that Keaton was going to be in Aquaman 2.
Yeah, he was supposed to be in Aquaman 2. He was supposed to be in The Flash, supposed to be in Batgirl.
Yep.
We have no idea what's happening with the Flash movie.
And
I have heard several things that are on the table, and that is just axing it completely. Already made $200 million. And then I've heard maybe we can get Ezra Miller some help so he can do some press.
Because he was just arrested
again,
like several days ago.
And he still has a movie, but Michael Keaton is getting removed from everything.
And what I'm hearing is, since he had his troubles, they have actually had him in for reshoots while he was in the middle of some of these episodes.
They're like, we could shoot that one where he's in handcuffs.
Right.
Yeah. Well, why not just pull a Sonic and just do a full redo?
The teeth?
No, just do a full redo. New person.
Replace him with what's his name from the show?
They'd have to
Grant,
reshoot
I don't want
scene.
Grant Gustin. I don't want that to happen.
They'd have to reshoot every scene.
No, there was that movie with Kevin Spacey.
Just him
that he did.
Yeah.
And they completely digitized.
It's like someone else's
Christopher Plummer.
His face?
They digitized Christopher Plummer's face
what?
over Kevin Spacey for the entire movie.
If that's the case, you could. Make
that's
anybody
what I mean.
Right. Call me.
They
DC.
If they're willing to write off $90 million, like just spend some more money to get this movie out. Like the test screenings have been really good about The Flash. And people are saying it's going to be really good, but
But they don't want to release it in the middle of this. Turmoil.
I get that, but just replace them.
Yeah,
spend the money.
I agree. If
it seems
the
like
movie
they have
works,
the money.
Yeah. Also still on Shazam 2.
Yes, Fury of the
Of
Gods.
course.
It's coming. They've got the trailer.
With Black Adam.
Yep. Second trailer is out.
Possibly Titans, I think, is still
the show?
showing. Yeah,
season
HBO,
4.
Season 4.
I heard there were internet rumors of Titans and Doom Patrol might be on the chopping block.
I mean,
today
at this point,
Doom Patrol.
We never know.
Man,
we don't know.
Yeah, we don't. Okay.
There's also a maybe on the Justice League Dark.
Yep.
and Constantine by J.J. Abrams and Bad Robot. We don't know where the Green Lantern show is going to happen or not.
Yep. Man,
the Blue Beetle, they're already doing production on. I've seen stills of Blue Beetle and his costume.
You know what we're going to have is a chart of all the things that are promised and start looking at what's actually, because you're telling me a few. There's more that we're forgetting.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Gotham Knights, I'm hearing, is still on.
The show
on CW.
Not the video game.
Not the video game. It's that one's safe.
Okay.
I believe.
Yeah, the video game's fine.
lot of turmoil over there at DC, and I heard the head of DC almost walked out on his job when Batgirl was cut.
And then Kevin Feige apparently wrote that like angry email.
Yeah.
And was like, guys,
what are you doing?
What happened? These are the folks that made 2 episodes of Ms. Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes. Yeah, for
Did
sure.
he? I thought he just emailed the directors and said, you guys did a great job. Sorry to hear what happened.
Yeah, but there was another one I thought that was like more pointed. But maybe it wasn't Kevin Feige. Because here's the thing. After this news came out, there was a plethora of thoughts, and like they were in so many articles. Like this is wild news to have a movie that's done and just to scrap it. But anyway,
just scrap $90 million. You spent $90 million on a movie, and you're just going to throw it in the trash, never release it, so you can write it off.
Yeah, I feel guilty enough that we get all these other shows that happen.
Right.
Don't be canceling stuff and
I feel guilty when I leave my leftovers in the fridge and they go bad. It's $90 million movie.
I feel guilty when
leaving in there to rot.
Yeah, America, where like we have to feel guilty. All right, what else in DC land? Anything else there?
No, I think that's it.
Well, can we? All right, so that's one end of the spectrum.
Yeah, then let's go to the other side.
You want to go to the other side?
Let's go to the other side.
Comic-Con 22 just happened, and man, oh man, let's just get into the MCU and just Scotty, just go ahead, dude.
I
can't even.
Man, I did not expect almost, I would say probably the entirety of Phase 5. We all know things happen. Dates shift.
Yep.
I fully expect at D23 to see something else.
But here we are. Phase 5, 2023.
There's still 3 or 4 titles left in Phase 4.
Yep.
And then we're starting Phase 5, which has been announced as the Multiverse Saga.
The Multiverse Saga is what they're calling it.
It's
got a name.
4, 5, 6.
It's got a name ahead of the Avenger movies.
Yes. We've
labeled
it.
All right, let's hit titles. Let's go titles.
Quantumania.
This is in
February.
Yep.
Secret Invasion. Disney Plus.
TV show. And that's in
spring.
Yep.
You know, these dates are
they're all up for grabs, and they're going to move.
They will all be changed later.
Yes.
And that's okay though.
We got Guardians 3 in May of 23. We've got Echo summer of 23. Loki summer of 23.
Season 2, baby.
More Kang.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Marvels summer 23. We got Blade. Yeah, Blade November of 23. We've got Ironheart fall of 23. And we've got Agatha, Coven of Chaos, winter 23, beginning of 24.
It's witches, winter. That's good.
Yeah. We got Daredevil, Reborn, 18 episodes. Can you believe that?
Born again.
I know.
Born again.
I love how
18
that's
episodes.
the only one they said episode count on. They're just trying to get
everything
us like,
everything else you can probably expect 6 to 8 episodes.
It's like shock and awe a little bit.
Yeah.
It's got to be, But
and then you're like, is it going to be 25-minute episodes?
Yeah.
Or are we getting full 45 to 50-minute episodes
like
here?
This show is not until spring 2024.
Right.
And
like if you're giving us 18 episodes, you better start shooting now.
And Phase 4, just so you can be prepared for what's before this stuff. She-Hulk's coming up next week.
She-Hulk, we got possibly Werewolf by Night. We've got Wakanda Forever.
My gosh.
We've got the Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special.
That Wakanda Forever trailer.
Oh man, breathtaking.
I mean chills and tears.
Goosebumps.
A trailer.
Yeah.
Things I normally skip.
Yeah, Namor. We've got a new Black Panther. What is happening?
This is awesome.
All
right, and then straight into Phase.
We're closing out with Captain America: New World Order.
New World Order. Are you familiar with this comic?
No.
I have no idea.
I know the NWO though.
Oh yeah,
that was good. That's a great reference. Even I got that one. All right, all right. So this is fun, right? Like let's live in the moment for a second. Kevin Feige is up on stage at Comic-Con. He lays this out.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what a list. It must be over.
Yeah.
It's not.
Nope. He's like,
but wait.
Do you want more?
Phase 6.
Phase 6.
2024.
More like phase sex.
2. We will get 2.
I could not. I'm sorry.
Tell
2
us.
Avengers movies.
2 Avengers movies announced.
In 2025. 2 Avengers movies.
In the same year. One in like May or June. One in like November.
Yeah, November, December.
Secret Wars and the Kang Dynasty.
Yes.
This is the multiverse saga. And then also just the cherry on top.
Yeah, we don't want to, step on the Fantastic Four.
It's happening.
And I do believe in the timeline they showed Fantastic Four first.
Yes.
And then Kang Dynasty.
Yes.
And then Avengers
correct.
Secret Wars.
So Secret Wars will be the last
Secret Wars
one for now.
is going to close, likely going to close this multiverse saga. And guys, I know this is 3 years away.
It doesn't seem like it.
But it seems like it's on the doorstep.
The way these titles are coming up,
Yeah.
WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier.
I mean,
like
if you
Loki,
think about
you
it,
just go through and you're like, my God, we've already seen so many.
February is what? 6 months away?
Yep.
We're 6 months away from the beginning of a new phase.
Another
We're
phase.
almost done with an entire phase.
Yeah, this is when you started.
After the Infinity Saga.
Yeah, we're almost to already like Captain America Civil War,
Right.
Thor Ragnarok.
Right.
And
like some of these banger titles where you're like, shit's about to go down.
Yep.
We're already heading into this.
A lot of people have been like, "There's been no direction so far. Where's this going?" And then this happens.
I know.
Yeah.
It's like where the haters at now.
Do you think that's what it was? It was like to appease like the unknowns of like, because like we were all kind of into this mode, right? Where there's so much things. We've never even had these many titles.
Right.
And so stuff was feeling like weird to us
Yeah.
where we're like, where is this? We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Yeah, they're just setting the
Now
table.
we have like some context, to be like, okay, we're only in wrapping up phase 4 here.
Like we just talked about comparing like the Bengals and Miss Marvel to the 10 Rings of like, and that came out like a year ago. So
Yeah.
it always comes back.
Yeah.
We got any chat?
Yeah, there's a Rainbow Pineapple.
Rainbow Pineapple and on
Yeah.
we're live on Twitch, of course, doing these
Yeah.
episodes live on Twitch. What do they say?
So excited for Phase 5 in the MCU.
Hell yes.
We are too, Rainbow.
We are too. And guess what? What a podcast.
Oh my God.
This is really paying off. I'm having so much fun. Like I was already having fun. Like, oh, let's pull out Blade 2. You're announcing 2 Avengers movies in the same year. All right,
Yep.
anything else?
No.
I got 2 things.
Go.
2 people have maybe said too much in the media the last week, announcing that
Oh, yes.
the Punisher might be a thing coming. Who was that? Was it Rosario Dawson?
It might have been Rosario
I think
Dawson.
who said that. But she later recanted and said, "Oh, you can't listen to sometimes what fans say to you. Like it was just a rumor." So would be a clever comeback. But
I mean,
that could be.
But we think the Punisher's
But
happening.
think about
She-Hulk-
it. When's the D23 thing? Isn't that
September
next month?
8th.
Yeah.
I think that could be announced.
Well,
then.
and we got She-Hulk starting next week.
Yep.
We know Daredevil's in there.
Yeah, they're just showing it.
So
And what was the other one?
all these
that just
Netflix
happened?
people from that universe could show up.
Oh yes, I hope so.
100%.
Well,
Patton Oswalt did it
Patton Oswalt.
also with
Yes.
Eternals. They're saying Eternals 2, then Chloe Zhao would be directing. That's not fully announced yet, but I think that those are both things that could be announced at the Disney. Deadpool, Deadpool could be there. Maybe.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because we've gotten Multiverse of Madness, Professor X.
Yep.
And then we got the tease at the end of Miss Marvel
Yep.
that we won't talk about.
We won't talk about
until
it.
we break it
Yeah,
down.
no one knows what we're talking about.
No.
All right, well, guess what? We're excited about Phase 5. We're excited about Phase 6.
Yes.
Most of Superheroes isn't going anywhere. We're going
Right.
to be here for all this. And we had a guest on from the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Imran had his thoughts on this. Here he is right now. Comic-Con has just happened. Phase 5 and Phase 6 have been here. 2 Avengers movies have been announced. Just rant your ass off about what you saw and what you're excited about.
Man, they're putting out a lot of shit. Wow. It's a lot of content. I don't know. Are people getting fatigued? I'm even having trouble keeping up with it. We try to cover everything. I think it's getting to the point people are skipping things. Look, Phase 5, I didn't expect him to announce Phase 6. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
2 Avengers movies within 6 months apart. Are you fucking kidding me? And then we have the director, Dustin Daniel Cretton, for Kang Dynasty. I think he's a good pick. But there's 12 things right there in Phase 5. There's 12 things, and Phase 6 has 11 things. And I think it's hilarious what's happening right now at Warner Brothers / Discovery with Zaslav just shutting things down. And meanwhile, Marvel's like, oh, here's 45 things we're going to put out. Enjoy. It's a feast. What am I excited for? I'm excited to see Kang finally in Quantumania. That Black Panther trailer gave me chills.
Oh yeah,
my God,
and tears, and I was like, wow,
Yes.
all right. And not only they're doing this tribute to T'Challa, you're gonna get Namor and a whole war between two species, and I don't even mind that it's like all Aztec and Maya. It looks good. It's good. You got to make it different.
They changed it. But yeah,
they changed it, but they're changing everything, right? They changed Kamala Khan. They've changed, but this is what we're expected to do this. And it's honestly, it's fine. It's more representation.
Yeah.
Which is always good. Let's see what, Daredevil, 18 episodes. They must have heard people's complaints about 6 episodes. And they're like, you know what? We're just going to triple it this time.
It's scary to me going back to like primetime numbers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like 22 episode
Yeah.
seasons. We would complain that they were too long, and then we would complain that there's not enough. So you really can't please people like me, anyways. But shit, 8. I hope it's not too much, because the Netflix 13 episodes.
Yeah.
You know, maybe they weren't all used as well as they could have. Those 13. It seemed a little bloated.
Yep.
10 feels right, but I don't know. They're doing Born Again again. It's a deep story. A lot of people in it. So that's exciting. And the fact we're going to see Charlie Cox in She-Hulk, then in Echo, then in Daredevil.
Yeah, and I don't like seeing this stuff, but I'm seeing, Kingpin, and he's in that. They got shots of him on that Echo set, and I'm like, damn.
I saw some stills of Ironheart.
Oh man, you saw Ironheart?
Some Ironheart stills, yeah.
Oh boy,
yeah.
Ironheart is also going to be popping up in a couple of places, Wakanda Forever, and I think some other shows. But the Kingpin, he was alive. He didn't die at the end of Hawkeye. He was off screen. No. You heard a thud, but
obviously
he'll be back.
No, he'll be back
in a big white suit. What else? Loki season 2. I'm looking forward to Guardians Volume 3. I heard about the footage that was played. How the cast was getting choked up. It's the end of this team,
right?
And we're gonna see Baby Rocket, I guess. How he got his cybernetic parts. But wow, what a thing for James Gunn, right?
Yeah.
Makes 2 awesome movies, gets fired, gets hired over there, makes an awesome movie that they just made, Suicide Squad. They're like, I'll do it again. It's fine. Makes The Peacemaker, which is so good, gets rehired at Marvel to come and do this. I wonder what he likes better.
He's St. Louis.
Oh, he's from East St. Louis.
STL made.
STL made, baby. We are huge James Gunn fans, obviously.
I feel like he's got a good deal over at Warner Brothers, and he may enjoy working over there a little bit more. I mean, they let him make 2 things that were like R-rated and just irreverent and pure James Gunn, without any kind of, you have to, these things have to line up over here to this.
The Gunverse.
It was successful, and I think they really need that over at TC right now. So they might they might back up the dump truck of money to him for a little more James Gunn grease.
I think they might. I think at this point they'll pay anybody not to be getting arrested every other month.
Yes. Oh my God.
I mean, you know who I want to hear from more than anybody right now on that?
Yeah.
Michael Keaton.
Oh God, he was going to be in 3 things, and now it's just 1 thing. He's right there. You can ask him.
He's right. He's right. Hey, I mean,
is it even 1 thing?
Possibly not even. That 1 thing is also on the chopping block. I don't know. I'll be like 50% this Flash movie comes out next year. But I want to see Michael Keaton back so badly.
Of course.
And that Batmobile. I want to see him back in the studio. It'll be so cool.
A little bit of me feels a little bit like when Sony and Marvel were playing their funny games and being like, Tom Holland's not coming back. And and all the people were coming to me being like, is this not going to happen? I was like, you're talking to me about it right now. So I imagine we're going to see these movies.
Yeah.
I'll just say it now. We'll see these movies.
We're talking about Marvel, and like I got side railed, but if
that's
I was
okay.
them,
Go ahead.
I would chop everything that's coming and just start over. Anyways, back to
all right. MCU. The MCU's like, how are you guys talking about them right now?
The MCU's like, I've got 40 things here, you bastards. What are you doing?
It is a little overwhelming.
It's a little much, but like a Fantastic Four, also very exciting.
Yes.
and then Avengers Secret Wars. These two movies, I'm so like, they have to be shooting these at the same time.
Yep.
How are they going to pull this off?
What is it? June, November, something like that?
Yeah. Is it the same? Is there going to be the same cast? Do you split the cast up? You have a lot of things to play with. And September, let's not forget D23. They're going to be like, here's another.
They're going to have more.
Things.
I think there's going to be 3 or 4 more
I just can't,
Phase 5.
I can't imagine.
And then they're going to fill out.
5,
and then they're going to fill out Phase 6.
Yeah, there's 8 spots open on Phase 6. They're going to squish more in Phases 12 of things.
I think they're going to squish another at least 2 or 3 things in Phase 5.
I'm going to be sick.
I saw Screen Rant share an article that the visual effects team is definitely like feeling the heat.
Oh, those people
they're
are
crunching.
they're shitting in their pants. They're like, stop announcing 12 things at a time. I feel really bad for them. I read another story. You've seen all these stories floating around, just horrible work conditions. I read another story. Remember, Avengers Endgame was moved up like a month, a few months, and everyone was like, oh shit, it's coming. Apparently, they didn't tell the VFX team that was going to happen.
That's not okay.
They found out like on the internet with the rest of the people.
Yeah, you know what they don't share is like the number of panic attacks and heart attacks that happen.
Oh my god!
Like, I mean, Jesus.
But damn, they make great movies,
and they're so good.
What should have been a dream job, you got guys going, I turn down Marvel jobs now because it's not worth, my sanity.
10 years of my life.
I guess it comes down at this point when you're making this much. Do we have enough bodies? Like, do we have enough people to like really do this? Like, this is a lot.
Yeah, and like if you're up and coming, like if you're a kid going to school and you want to get into visual effects, you got to be looking at this and hesitating. It's got to make you think twice, which sucks because we need creative people to continue to go into and follow their dreams and make things. We wouldn't be here.
Yeah,
I was watching that George Lucas documentary on Disney Plus, the
Light.
Light and Magic.
Yeah,
literally, you would have had none of this if it wasn't for George Lucas going, okay, nobody could do this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to invent this shit myself.
It's so true.
And even then, though, they were behind schedule. It was quite terrible, but they invented so many things that we take for granted today. And Industrial Light Magic is amazing. So.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, I'm a guy that questions everything, so I'm like, how long are they going to keep this internet running? I don't even know that. But like, when I see
it's a fad.
Yeah, you're right. When I see these movies, I'm like, how long can they keep it going? And like, will they just really make all these titles? I mean, you're seeing it now with like DC and Star Wars even, where like titles don't come around. And like, all of us are like understanding. We're like, yeah, that was a lot. Marvel is just hitting every title, just rolling out. Like, all right, She-Hulk's next week. Like, here we go.
God, and that one again, I'm a little nervous. Hopefully, it looks like they fixed some of the effects, but I hope it wasn't at the cost of someone staying up for 48 hours, right?
Yeah,
with someone looking over them, going, "You fix this before tomorrow."
I think about the stress of my job and like just about one project and like how it works when like multiple people come to you for like, oh hey, we need to get you to do this real quick. I'm like picturing the poor VFX designers and developers and these guys that are just so talented, but they're like, I have a list of 100 things to do today. Like, I can't do it.
One of them was sleep.
Yes,
I guess that gets knocked off the list.
And like, am I making enough? Like, come on, Marvel. Like, take care of them. Create the university. Lay the foundation. They're doing these things. I hope.
Yeah, they've done everything so well. This could be like the one bad mark. So they need to do something about that. And like the pandemic didn't help, and things got pushed back. Yeah, we get it. And things get but these people need to sleep. That's all I'm saying. They need to sleep.
Beautiful.
What do you think of that? That's
that
right.
was nice.
Any other news?
There was a multitude of trailers and news.
Yeah, Comic-Con. We only talked about the MCU.
So many.
I mean,
well,
just do you have
we
any
talked about the DC stuff.
We talked about
Shazam,
DC,
Black
MCU,
Adam.
any other like obscure things, anything from Amazon,
Lord of the Rings,
Paper Girls.
I can't wait to watch that. Sit down and watch that. Read the comic book like 10 years ago, maybe.
Yeah.
It's really good. I can't wait to see the adaptation.
Yeah, I was trying to think. I don't know if there was any other like major trailers that got me too jazzed, but hey, man, we got a link on our description if you want to read more about what came out of Comic-Con. Go read it for yourself. The MCU's exploding. DC is imploding. We're going to talk about all of it and keep on going. That's a rhyme for you. Now we're going into Whatchu Watchin.
Whatchu Watchin.
Whatchu Watchin, that's where we tell you what we're doing. We have to rename this segment. We got timers on the books. We're going to keep it moving for you. Let's go ahead and start off with Scotty Scoop. Tell us about Gray Man on Netflix.
Gray Man. Anybody else watch?
I did.
Oh, man. You got Ryan Gosling. You got Chris Evans as a bad guy. You got Ana de Armas, Jessica Henwick, Billy Bob Thornton, Alfre Woodard. Man, this was
lineup.
They got all the names
Yep.
for this. They got the Russo brothers directing.
Yep.
It's a book that they apparently adapted. You've got Ryan Gosling recruited from jail.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I guess you could kind of call it like a Suicide Squad kind of thing.
It's essentially like, yeah,
hey,
like,
we'll get you out, but you work for us.
Yep.
And you're a spy now.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you
like,
need
Billy
to know.
Bob Thornton is going to talk
He
to
was
him.
the recruiter,
That's it. He's the
and
recruiting, and then like, oh, Ryan
boom.
Gosling's in jail. Like this is like this is how you're going to find out. Like, oh, I'm on the jail on the kind of. It is kind of like a modern solo Suicide Squad story a little bit, but like not.
Yeah, like
suicide.
boom. Hey, you work for the CIA now.
Yes,
basically.
Exactly.
And you're a hitman for us.
Yep. What'd you think?
Man, this movie was
25 seconds.
Stop action. Watched it with Lila. We both loved it. Man, so much fun.
Yep. Rating?
4.
4?
No, wait. That was Lila's rating.
Okay.
Sorry.
That was his dad coming out.
Yeah.
No.
Lila had the 4. Personally,
Good for you, Lila.
3.4.
3.4. I'd give
Man,
it.
so fun.
Yeah, 3. I'd give it a 3.3.
Yeah.
I watched half. I got to finish it.
Half?
Oh.
If you guys want
How
to
do you
talk
do
spoiler,
this?
I'll leave the room. I don't care.
Yeah, I give no. Well, we can't.
Oh,
Andy, tell us about the much anticipated Bullet Train.
Bullet Train.
Oh,
I
man, yeah.
absolutely love Brad Pitt, my favorite actor of all time, because we are fraternity brothers at Mizzou.
Whoa,
I don't know if
MIZ.
you guys knew that. So just so everyone knows that, it's a huge deal. But this movie was hilarious. Saw this $5 Tuesday with Steph over at Ronnie's, as
Still
always. Shout out
$5?
Ronnie's.
Yeah, what was the price?
$7.
Oh.
Ronnie's?
Yes. Yes.
That's
But
Marcus Theaters.
This movie was way funnier than I ever thought. I laughed so much during this movie. There were some pretty good cameos. I would recommend it for just about anybody. I mean, it was a little confusing. There's a lot going on. Basically, he's a assassin, shows up on this train with an objective of finding the suitcase. I'm sure everyone's seen the trailers, but there's other assassins that are on there with unknown objectives. It all kind of unravels itself throughout the whole movie. There's a lot going on, so it's a lot to track, but so funny. There were some really good cameos that I really enjoyed throughout the movie. I'm not going to obviously not spoil any of those, but
Thank you.
But yeah, Brad Pitt is one of my favorite actors ever. This is the Brad Pitt that I love.
Mhm.
He's hilarious.
Wild,
My
all over the place.
favorite part of the movie. He's just very like quirky and like this is what I love movies like this. So funny. I didn't know he had it in him, to be honest.
12 seconds.
Shoot, I'll go with a 3.5 out of 4.
How'd you watch? You saw it in theaters.
Yeah.
So you got to see this thing.
I think you should.
What's
I think you guys will
what's
like
Stephanie
it.
think?
Same. We're about the same.
Very nice. Bullet Train. Go see it. Good job, Giggler. Massive talent. The unbearable weight of massive talent. I only need 30 seconds for this one.
Uh-oh.
This is the story about Nick Cage as Nick Cage.
Nick Cage.
Has anybody else seen this?
No, but
You're ready.
I'm hinging.
I
on-
want
on
to.
your-
I'm
Well,
waiting for it to go free.
There's a reason I gave it only, I got 18 seconds left here. This is not what you think. It's definitely like a Hollywood cheesy movie, but definitely a witty movie that can laugh at itself and laugh at how movies are made, and it's a
Okay.
little bit of that played on itself. Nick Cage is being Nick Cage in this, and it was delightful. I had a great time. I'd give it a 3.2.
Nice. Okay.
The
That's what I
unbearable
thought.
weight of massive talent. I had to rent it, I believe, so go
Yeah.
find it.
Yeah.
Actually, I think it was free on something. Just go look for it.
I need to
it's
know
free
that.
somewhere, I believe.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for it to be
Paramount
free.
Yeah.
or something.
Don't give up. It might be out there. All
Yeah.
right, next up, Scotty, you are telling us about a show on Hulu.
This is a movie. This is
This
a full
is a-
movie.
Tell us.
This is a prequel to the Predator franchise.
Called?
Prey. Stars Amber Midthunder, and that's probably the only person you really need to know.
Yeah.
This takes place 300 years in the past. She is a Comanche warrior, and her tribe is being attacked by a predator. And
the classic
it is-
Predators.
it is action. It's adventure.
How many are there? How many you seen?
Oh, I've seen them all.
Oh, wait, it's a movie.
This is a movie.
I keep forgetting. I keep thinking this is a TV
hour
show.
and a half
For some
movie.
reason, I thought it was a show.
Sorry,
And
I-
this is reviewing better than the original Predator with Arnold Schwarzenegger. This was a great movie. And just one more thing.
No,
I
I'm gonna give you a little extra time there. Go ahead.
I need one more second.
Go ahead.
You can watch this movie dubbed in Comanche on Hulu.
Dubbed in Comanche,
Which is amazing.
like that Comanche, like
the language.
they've brought it into.
Yes.
And you did you do it?
I did not.
Because you wouldn't understand.
Because I wouldn't understand.
But they could do subtitles.
I'm going to go back and turn on the Comanche.
You turn on the
the dub.
and you could turn on English subtitles.
Yes.
Man, that's
And
really
I think
interesting.
that is so interesting and inclusive.
I know what you mean. Well, and I've seen shows where like the different languages come in, and I've toyed with the dubbed versus the subtitles versus the mix.
And they speak Comanche in the movie.
Okay.
A couple of times.
Okay.
But there's just an option to just turn it on the whole time.
We give you way too much time. What's the rating?
3.5.
You gonna watch it?
Probably not.
Okay.
Oh,
I've never been a Predator fan.
I know. I'm so in and out on Predator and Alien as well. It's like, I don't know.
This is a fun.
It's a fun one.
Western adventure.
And also, any Predator fan has to watch it.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Do not miss.
All right, Prey on Hulu. All right, I'm up. I've been watching Burn Notice. I got 30 seconds for this one.
know Spies.
Bunch of bitchy little girls.
Oh, I love Burn Notice. Please.
Hey, well, this is the fall of Sam
Oh,
Axe.
I remember.
The made-for-TV movie.
USA.
Hour and a half. Every man has a past. His just has more explosions. Bruce Campbell is
God,
finally
I love
featured as his own character, Sam Axe, at the end of like season 5, I think.
Yeah.
It rolls in, and I'm like, what's this? It's a movie about this character. It's Bruce Campbell. I give it a 3.8.
Oh, I love it. You got Michael, you got Fiona, and then Sam Axe.
And Andy's just
The
shaking his
chin.
head. He has no...
The chin himself.
Never seen it.
Bro, watch Burn Notice.
Burn
and
Notice,
then,
man.
I don't know if anybody could actually replicate the like surprise I had when I found out this was even a thing. So yeah, that's on Hulu. Go check it out.
I remember watching it when it came out.
Yes.
I loved it.
Andy, tell us about this
All
one.
right, Blackbird, Apple TV. I think I love this even more than Bullet Train. 6 episodes. Jimmy Keene is played by Taron Egerton. Sure, everybody knows who that is.
Mhm.
He basically is in jail, and they're offering a commuted sentence for him to basically get a confession from this guy. Well, it just so happens this guy is a serial confessor, so it's extremely confusing, and it gives a lot of like insight. It's basically like every jail show that you watch.
Okay.
Like the things going on, like the jail politics, like stuff with the guards, and like talking to people on the outside. But in the end, this is a true story also, which is crazy.
Okay.
Based on a true story. So you kind of see how he gets there, and it's a crazy journey. Like
like it?
Yes, I loved it. I mean, me and Steph watched this in like 1 week.
Rate it.
Go 3.6.
3.6.
Out of 4.
Blackbird, Apple TV Plus.
Coming in
TV
hot.
show?
Yes.
How many
It's
episodes?
6 episodes.
And this is Taron Egerton, who's like maybe up for Wolverine.
Possibly.
I hope so.
Possibly. Blackbird, Apple TV Plus. I love it. Next up, I'll do a quick one on The Sandman. One that I was prepared to talk about to come in here. And I had kind of a take on this. I've only seen 2 episodes out of however many
I think there's a full 10
on Netflix.
on Netflix.
And
I'm 6 in.
This is a long overdue title that apparently that comic book fans have been looking forward to. I'm coming at this as like I generally know about the Sandman, and he's in dreams and sleep.
Mhm.
This is in that world. This is where I'll plug Imran again from the Jock and Nerd Podcast, who talked about this show. And since I've only seen 2, I want you to hear from him right now.
Well, I just did finish watching The Sandman, which was something on Netflix, which
man.
I read the comics in college. I discovered Sandman in college. It's a wonderful, wonderful story. They did a very good job adapting this thing. I was digging it. You know, they made it. It's been called the unadaptable comic book series. So they
For years they've been talking about this.
Yeah. Joseph Gordon-Levitt's been trying to make this for 10 years. He was going to be in it.
Mhm.
And they were going to do a movie, and I'm like, you can't do this in 2 hours. You
No,
just can't.
absolutely not.
You need several seasons of television. So while they did change they adapted some things so it works better on TV. But then there's like one episode that puts 2 like the best issues I remember reading, and it's just back to back in this one episode. I thought it was very good. So that's the last thing I watched. What else?
What would you rate it?
Oh, Sandman on Netflix. I'll give that. I'll give it 3 stars. It starts out a little slow.
Yeah,
but the middle is really good.
I'm 2 in, and that was like I'm rating it today, and not rating it. I'm talking about my 30 seconds. I think for Whatchu Watchin. I've seen 2 episodes. It's a little slow.
He doesn't talk for a long time.
It's not that I don't like slow either. But I was like, if I'm saying it's slow, but you're saying you felt the same way, and then you enjoyed the season.
Yeah, it's like you just got to get into the emo tone and kind of the weirdness of dreams and existence and some great performances. I would stick with it. Because it gets better, and I'm curious what someone thinks who hasn't read the comic always, because I know
that'll be me.
So it seems people are reacting to it well.
Andy, you didn't even know I was going to do this, and I gave us 2 minutes for this because it could be a group thing. Andy just watched all. He watched all of the Fantastic Four movies,
and I'd never seen any of them.
Tell us everything.
Wow. I mean, each one I think I liked way more than I thought I would.
Okay.
Definitely, I would go with the Silver Surfer #1, and then I think the newest one #2.
Wow!
Honestly,
the first one,
the new one I think had a great first half. If it could have,
I haven't seen it since it came out.
Really,
I don't think
the first half was
either.
really good, and the whole time I just feel bad for the Thing the whole time. Every single movie, I was like, that poor guy.
Yeah, and
poor guy.
Guess what? There's a reason they've only cast 3 of the main Fantastic Four movies. Characters they just announced at Comic-Con. They haven't announced the Thing yet. I think it's the toughest one.
Oh yeah.
What else? What else do you think? You just saw these in the last week.
Yes, I didn't really like Doom in the new one. I love the guy in the first one.
Victor,
the guy from Nip Tuck.
Yeah.
I can't remember the actor's name though. Damn it.
Yeah, I don't.
The guy that plays Doom.
Yeah.
Victor. I don't know.
It's Victor Von Doom,
and he was also in Charmed. He was in Charmed.
Yeah,
and other shows like that. Okay.
But I don't know. You think we'll see any of these people back in the future?
Well, you can see if I'm sharing on the screen. I also threw up our newest Fantastic Four member. Mr. John Krasinski from Multiverse of Madness. I mean, they just announced, who knows? Because they just announced this movie at Comic-Con. So, it's fun to revisit these old ones, think about how they might do the new one. I think the one line we get out of Multiverse of Madness from the Illuminati, Reed Richards, actually Doctor Strange to Reed Richards, is you guys had an out in the 60s or something like that.
Yeah, you guys used to chart in the 60s.
So maybe they're going to do a callback that brings it to modern. I don't know. But anyway, how would you rate these movies?
I'd maybe give it a mediocre 4 instead of a fantastic 4.
Oh God. Okay. I'll give you a little one. All right. Rate each one.
All right.
The first Fantastic Four.
2.8.
Silver Surfer.
Probably 3.2.
3.2.
3 even for the other one.
And 3 even for the newest, latest one with what's his name from Top Gun.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Miles.
Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan and what? Oh, Miles. Yeah, Miles.
Miles Teller.
I don't know who that girl is.
We got Captain America up there in the first 2.
God.
Oh, yeah. Well, Chris Evans.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Scotty and I went to a concert. Boy. Carrie went. You went with your daughter. It was an outing at St. Louis Music Park this past Sunday. Coheed is on tour. They have a new album out. We're giving it away. Wanted to show, I don't know if this is allowed. I'm going to totally do it. It's a very short clip. I just want to show you guys a little bit from the night. Mainly want you to look at the stage here. Look at that. Look at that place.
Wow.
Packed house. Unbelievable show.
Man.
And
always.
Guess what? Scotty Scoop was there. There was a Scotty Scoop sighting. See if you can find him. Watch this. This is a great time to be watching us on video. All right, here we go. See if you can find him, Andy.
There he is. Look at that beautiful beard.
Yes.
Rocking out.
Look at him.
Nice.
Dude,
Yeah,
what a
great.
show!
Oh my God.
What'd you think?
They put on a show.
Yeah.
Like there's no coming out, there's no banter.
Nothing.
They come out
Yep.
and they rock.
Yes.
And you can see they got the whole stage, they got lights, they got screens, they had the big blow up head.
They had like the digital, like almost like movie they're like playing during the thing.
Went along with every song, related. Man, it is
that stage
a
is
show.
wild.
An hour and a half.
Andy, that's it, dude. I mean, I've seen him twice, both with this guy.
I'm double digits at this point.
I think this might be like a new favorite band.
Yeah.
Like I'm finding, like I'm watching, I'm like, this is like our metal time. Like
Yes.
this is a show right here. And because of that, we talked about this in fan mail, but we are giving away an album here. We're gonna give away the Baxis 2 Window of the Waking Mind. Scotty's got it here in his hand. You can scan the QR code up on the screen. You could have this album. I promise you. You need this album in your life.
It is so good.
Yes, absolutely. Go check it out. Coheed and Cambria. That is Whatchu Watchin this week. And coming up, we're going to take a break real quick. When we come back, we're diving fully into the MCU and the latest Disney Plus series, 6 episodes of Miss Marvel. Get ready. We're going to break it wide open. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The meat.
Welcome back from the break. This is Mostly Superheroes. Back here in the studio, nerding out with my friends. We are here to talk about the MCU once again. That's the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And we can't believe it, but we have a whole new TV show that just came out on Disney Plus that we're going to break down. And it's going to be one that I personally had no idea about this character. This is one that, this is one of the ones where they announced in Phase 4, all the titles up on the screen. Who is this going to be? What is this show going to be about? How will it play into the larger MCU? Who is this person? We're talking about a brand new character being introduced, an origin story in the form of a TV show. How fun is this? It's Miss Marvel, and it's on Disney Plus. Give that spoiler alert for it right now because we're going to break it wide open. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it. Hit pause right now. Go see it and come back and see us. And we'll go into the details. We have a lot to break down. We're going to talk about the story. We have a special guest appearance from a fellow podcast that's going to break this open. A very good friend of ours that took the time to talk about his connection to the show, and you guys are really going to enjoy that interview. We can't wait to share it with you. Before that, we have to talk about who made this thing. IMDb Pro is our website of choice. It's been going pretty well. Had it for about 6 months now. It's $20 a month. And, it goes to IMDb. It's an Amazon company, but they do give you pretty much 10 full layers deeper than what you see on the regular IMDb site. It's really crazy. The people that made it, the people that are in it. And speaking of which, this is a Disney Plus Disney movie, really, produced by Disney and Marvel Studios. And I want to talk about the directors because these are a lot of folks that I have not heard of before, and I need some help with these names. Andy, help me with that first director. We got Adi.
Where am I looking?
I can help you.
I
Look
see.
at this.
Adil El Arbi,
Yep, and we also have director.
Bilal Falal,
Thank you.
Mira Minan,
And
Sharmeen Obaid Chinoy.
well done, sir. This movie is
Did my
starring
best.
breakout star. I believe this is one, like maybe her first
This
title.
is her first thing.
We're talking about Iman Vellani playing Kamala Khan.
I believe she auditioned over Zoom, if I remember correctly, when this was first announced. I thought that was really cool.
Very nice. We have Bruno in the show, played by Matt Lintz. Help me with this one, Andy.
Muniba,
Played by.
Zenobia Shroff.
We have.
Nakia is played by Yasmin Fletcher.
Yes.
Kamran is Rish Shah.
Mm-hmm.
Yusuf is played by Mohan Kapoor. Amir Sagar Shakeen.
And we'll just do this one. This will be the last one. We'll
Yeah.
wrap up with this one.
Sana is played by Samina Ahmed.
Very nice. Hey, not too bad for a bunch of Missouri white boys. That's these are new names for us, and I think you did a really great job, Andy. To be honest,
Thank you.
What are people saying out there? We got some ratings. Rotten Tomatoes. All right, here's something I want to start doing on the show. I want everybody to understand what these ratings mean. So you can see here, Rotten Tomatoes is they have the average tomato meter. Which read this for me, Andy.
A series gets an average tomato meter when at least 50% of the seasons have a score. The average tomato meter is the sum of all the season scores divided by the number of seasons with the tomato meter.
And then we have average audience score. So you have tomato meter and then audience score. All right, what's audience score?
Percentage of users who rated this 3.5 stars or higher. Interesting.
It's very interesting because tomato meter is pretty much based on 50% of the season have a score. Like, I don't even understand truly what the tomato meter is. Scott, is that making sense to you?
No.
I honestly have never even asked the question. I'm just like, use it to compare against other movies.
And that's exactly why I've brought a little awareness to this, because guess what? IMDb, where do you think IMDb ratings come from? It's truly only based on the people that are looking at the IMDb website.
Right. And any ratings left on IMDb?
Only IMDb.
Right.
So, like, they'll be like, oh, this is doing very well. It had a lot of page views in the last week. That means a lot of people went to imdb.com and found the Miss Marvel page and looked at it, and that can make the movie meter go up because it's had more views. So this is at a score of 91. For frame of reference, I feel like we pulled this number up for, like, Blade. I think it was like a 2 because, you know, it's an older movie.
Right.
Hasn't been talked about as recently. And then on IMDb, let's see where this rating is. I think it's right behind the Superman. Andy, why don't you move that Superman for me? 6.2 out of 10 on IMDb. Miss Marvel. Yeah, I'm realizing these are a little small for me, but I love putting Andy to work, so this is great. Read this. Just read our little synopsis here for the whole audience. What's Miss Marvel about, according to IMDb?
Kamala is a superhero fan with an imagination, particularly when it comes to Captain Marvel. Kamala feels like she doesn't fit in at school, sometimes even at home. That is until she gets superpowers, like the hero she's looked up to.
Wow. That's it. Same.
Nice job.
Yeah.
Nice
I just
job.
don't have powers.
And Andy? We'll give it up for Andy.
Come on.
I'm going to give it up because he read the cast name, he ran the synopsis, he gave us the ratings, and got
Andy to work.
I can read.
If only he had his own PC or
last time it caused like noise interference last time.
It almost caught the studio on fire.
Yeah, it just wasn't meant to be. There's can only be one PC, man.
How fun? Yeah, PC Mike, we miss you.
Shout out.
We're ready to have you back whenever you're ready. He knows. He always knows. And you know, I gotta say, it would have been a funny moment if like that's when you found out you couldn't read.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, pregame too hard.
All right,
read good.
Miss Marvel. I'm losing count of titles at this point, but we're like well into the 30s.
30s for sure.
For MCU, and there were 6 episodes of this thing. And I just want to get right into the story, but also Scotty, as our comic book resident, I want to know, were you familiar with this character going in? What was your gut check coming into this show?
Yeah. I knew the character. I read the first graphic novel where they kind of rebooted her character. Man, I didn't really have a lot of expectations here, but as always, super excited for another title.
Yep.
And man, I think they did a great job on this one.
And your kids had a good time, I'm sure.
No, they haven't watched it.
What?
I watched this one alone.
This is on you. This is Scotty time.
Yeah.
You get some real Scotty time, Miss Marvel. And Andy, I think we talked about it on the show. Otherwise, you weren't really familiar either.
Only from the Avengers video game. She's like the main or the character you first play with.
Yes. Me too. Like I saw the trailer for that game, and they're like, "Oh, here's this girl with the big fat fist."
Yep, that's pretty much what I knew.
Same here. It turns out there was a lot more to it, and I want to get right into it. How's that sound? You guys want to go story time?
Let's go.
Miss Marvel, Kamala Khan, man. She's, a girl that I just saw as a young kid living with a traditional family, trying to make her way in her high school. We're not going to go episode by episode here. I want this to be more of like a top level storytelling, and we got the episodes on screen. If you're watching this on our Patreon or live with us on Zoom, we are sharing the episodes, so you can look up there for reference. We'll use them as we need to. But when you meet Kamala Khan, she's this Pakistani American living in Jersey City, and just regular girl just trying to. She has a YouTube channel. She makes content. She's into superheroes. I'm definitely feeling she learned about Ant-Man, Paul Rudd's character, Scott Lang, on a podcast. We find out, pretty early. I'm sitting here going MCU town, getting into the podcast game. And Kamala Khan, though, is just trying to live in Fantasyland, and it's not going so well. It's getting in the way of college applications. Mom is on her case. Dad's on her case. When are you going to get your life together? Are you going to keep focusing on these superheroes and obsessing over Captain Marvel and living in your head?
I just want to go to AvengerCon.
I just want to go to AvengerCon, the first one ever.
Yep.
AvengerCon. Let's get you guys excited.
Yeah, let me go.
I know. I was like, man, I can't wait to go to Avenger Campus with Scotty Scoop and Andy. we're just going to be walking around, just laughing, holding hands with Kevin Feige.
Odds they have an actual AvengerCon within the next like 2 or 3 years.
You know what I loved about the AvengerCon they showed? I thought that is kind of Comic-Con, but almost like if it was like the Missouri State Fair.
Yeah.
Comic-Con.
I'd still go to all the above.
Oh, we're there.
I was in for sure. She's got a best friend, Bruno, who's just her, her homeboy, but obviously he's having a crush kind of thing, and they're having a coming of age story of like, hey, we're 16, 17, college. They might be going 17 on 18, actually. It seemed like college was on the horizon, right?
Yeah.
These are like seniors in high school.
Yeah.
I mean, this is very much a senior in high school. It's a story about this young kid. She's got another best friend. I forget her name right here. I'm going to use my mouse.
Nakia?
Yeah, Nakia. She got another best friend that's, real close. She confides to and everything. She's got an older brother that's kind of overbearing. And, the classic, like, for me, feeling like older brother, overprotective. Just a classic family.
The one who gets away with everything.
Yes, he can do no wrong.
Right.
The parents are in love with my older brother. If Kamala asks to go to AvengerCon, what happens?
Oh, yeah.
Shut down.
Shut down.
And, but she decides, I am going to go. I'm going to sneak out. But in the midst of all this, her mom gets a package from her mother that has like some old stuff in it.
Yeah.
And she's like,
junk.
Just junk, essentially. Yeah. Fast forward a little bit, she finds out, I got to have, for AvengerCon, there's a Captain Marvel dress-up cosplay contest. I have a costume. I've been working on it for months. Her and Bruno have double-teamed it. He's become an expert, painter. What's he called?
Yeah.
Airbrusher. And he says, you got to do something personal.
Some flair.
So he makes her some gloves. She leaves them in the bathroom.
Yep.
No one ever really talked about
Idiot.
it. No one ever talked about it again.
Yeah.
And it always peeved me because he worked really hard on those gloves.
Really hard.
Really. I mean,
she just left him.
I don't know if you guys realize there was a scene where like they just kind of showed him off in his room and they were underneath like the magnifying glass on his desk.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, those are because I rewatched this. So I'm like picking up new things. I'm like, shoot, he worked on this for weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
man.
I know.
He was crushed.
But, thankfully she found in her mother's, box from her grandma a bangle, which is another word for a fancy gold bracelet. And she's like, all right, well, I'll just do this. Instead of trying it on at home, she waits till AvengerCon. She's up on stage in a Captain Marvel outfit. And she's like, I'm here. I did it. I snuck away from my parents. I'm just going to put this on now. And eyes turn purple. She falls backwards into what looks like a spiritual realm. Falls like this is happening in the middle of like AvengerCon to us. She comes back too. She's back in the real world, and she looks at Bruno. Do you see anything? He's like, "What? Get up there. Go to your contest.
Let's go. Come on.
It's time. You're Captain Marvel. Go, go, go." Well, she has powers now.
Yeah.
And they're coming in. Her hand stretches. Everyone thinks it's part of the show. She knocks over a Ant-Man head, a giant man head, rolls down the most obnoxious rolling head through the. I mean, it was so obnoxious. Hits the Mjolnir hammer, swings from the ceiling, hits
the lady,
the jock girl.
Yeah,
she
was an influencer. She's in the school.
Yes, and the cool girl that would never be here is here.
Total bitch.
Yeah, the one that really I don't like this girl. She's stepping on my toes. She's gonna compete against me at this, but you know what she does? She gets saved by, she doesn't have a superhero name, Kamala Khan.
Yeah.
With powers. This is the
no name yet.
This is the introduction though of Miss Marvel. She has powers that have awoken. What are these things?
Yeah. Where did they come from? How did I get them? I've been dreaming about this my whole life.
Exactly.
And now it's real.
And it's really happening, and it turns out that it has a lot to do with her lineage. And we're going to find out all about some folks that come along the way. We meet this guy that she has a crush on, actually, in the high school. His name is with a K. Kamran. She has a crush on him. Turns out he's not what he seems. He has a he has a mom and some friends. She has some friends that catch up with old Kamala Khan. They notice that she's having these powers, and they approach her and say like, hey, we can help you answer a lot of the questions you're having. Turns out this is where we get a big explanation. Again, jumping all over the place here because I think we'll just kind of flow in and out of this story is rooted very much in what's happening in the real, like, present time, and then a lot of lineage that ties back to stuff that happened in the past. What you're going to learn about in this show is a lot about the Pakistani culture, Pakistani American culture. They talk a lot about partition and the breaking up of British government and Pakistan. I mean, things that are, very true in the real world. I mean, you're going to learn about this culturally in this TV show. And we have a really great interview coming up with a friend of ours from the Jock and Nerd Podcast, Imran, who is Pakistani American himself. And I can't wait for you guys to hear from him because he has a really good insight that three of us could never have. But in terms of us watching this show, we're just asking questions. Like, how long has this Bengal been around? Why does she have powers? And what are her powers essentially? Well, Bruno kind of helps her figure this out, before she even gets with Kamran and her family. He's like, let's do a little training montage, get you up on a ceiling. What happens? Light is coming out of her body in the form of like crystal shapes. So she can do like a couple things. She can like stretch her body with this stuff and like make herself larger.
An extension.
And also like bigger and like stronger, kind of firm.
For sure.
And then she can put out light, like platforms.
Yeah.
Or even just kind of like substance. Because she kind of starts using this stuff as like shields.
Yeah.
She can make a giant shield out of this where it's almost like a crystal wall that you cannot penetrate. A force field. Absolutely. Yeah. How would you think of these powers?
Great. I mean, it's not what her powers are in the comic books.
What is it?
She was just basically Mr. Fantastic.
Just the stretching.
It was a lot of stretching.
This is very cosmic.
Yes.
This is like a cosmic, something else is going on. I'm flowing in and out of like some realms. I'm having visions. She's having visions of like a train and like an older woman. And this woman ends up being what's his name? Cameron?
Cameron.
His mom, she lays it out for Kamala. Brings her over to the house. It's her and this gang. And she says, all right, listen up. You're one of us. You were born of one of us and a human. So what are we? We are
Jinn.
We are Jinn. She also, there's like other words she uses too. Genie, and it wasn't celestial, but it was like
something like that.
Something like that, where it just meant like this cosmic otherworldly being that lives in a dimension that's like adjacent to ours, right? This is a world that lives right next to ours.
Right.
And, a lot of things as an MCU fan that come up for me during this part is Shang-Chi and like the way that they introduce the mystical world of his side and like how it's like, oh, it's kind of right next to you. You don't even, and even, looking now at Thor: Love and Thunder and how the God world just kind of like was there. And like, there's like, these places are accessible in the right situations.
Right.
And apparently Jinn, and part of Kamala's ancestorhood is you can access what they call the Noor light,
Noor dimension,
the Noor dimension. And what does this mean to access it? Well, it's her powers that we've seen. It also means like she could potentially open a gate to this place
with the bangle
and having her gift. You go full powers here, you could open up this door. And
so we can go home. They're trapped here, right?
We not only have we been trapped here, but here we go. Flashback City. You kind of get, this lady that's talking to Kamala knew her great-grandmother. They were homies. They were looking for this bangle in an old tomb that had the 10 rings ingrained on the floor. Right in the middle of it,
It's connected, folks.
It's connected. We'll get into it in our interview later. You're going to hear a lot more stuff here. We have a whole slew of little golden nuggets out of this show, which I love. All right, so she has to decide, like, am I going to help these folks? And she pulls her friend Bruno. So Bruno's like a genius.
Yeah.
Like, he's like a super genius. Like, he's like, him and Peter Parker meet. We're going to have a little bro fest. I feel like we're going to get that. And he tells her, he's like, listen, you could open this gate for these guys, but you could like blow up the world.
Yeah, you could destroy our world or their world or everything.
And we get even a more exposition on this when after a vision of like she encounters with Kamran's mother, she gets this vision of the train again. You know, it's been happening. Her great grandmother finally calls her. It calls her back, really.
Mm-hmm.
There's already been a phone call up leading up. She says, listen, you got to come to Pakistan. And when you get here, you and your mom need to come. I don't know what it is, but I had this vision of the train too. And when she gets to Pakistan, I think we're getting into like episode 4 here. The grandma lays it out. During partition, which was like apparently like a shit show of like the British government pretty much dismantling the Pakistani government in a way that forced mass migration out of the country. I'm still like learning.
It's a lot to do with like colonialism and
yes. And, you know, like I'm not familiar with the history personally.
Yeah.
Were you guys?
not a whole lot.
No.
But it's very interesting now.
Interesting, and like also I think they did a good job.
Mm-hmm.
You know, especially after a second watch. You know, I watched this week to week, and then I watched it in a day. And I gotta tell you, it's one of the best movies. I'm just gonna skip ahead a little. Like I really had a good time with this. So anyway, you know, give this. I know it's history. Give it a chance. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people can like shut off on that stuff, but I think it was pretty interesting. The grandma lays it out and says, "Listen, during partition, your mom and your dad. Actually, I'm sorry, not Kamala's. My mom and dad.
Right.
My mom and dad." Her this is like, you know, very old. This is like her grandmother telling her this. This is her great grandmother. She's like talking about my mom got lost somewhere in the shuffle. My dad also got lost. I'm 4 years old. And the only thing I remember about getting on that train is that there were some stars in that got me there. This is what her grandma tells her. Okay. So she's learning a little bit more about her past. She also encounters what's the group that helps her out with the red.
The red. Yeah, I don't
He has the
know.
ram bandana around his head when he's in Pakistan, and when she's in Pakistan, and she crosses paths with this guy, the red. Look, help us out.
Oh my God, I'm looking for it.
You'll
right
find
now.
it, Andy.
On. We got to get this guy a computer or something.
Oh, I love it. It's like the red.
There was a huge fight at the train station.
Like, and it's her
He's
versus him.
throwing daggers, and she's blocking him.
I mean, just attacks her.
Yeah.
He's thinking like you're one of the jinn that are trying to open the gate. I'm gonna have to kill you. Oh wait, there's something different about you. Please, Andy.
Red daggers.
The red daggers.
It was hitting us right there in the face.
The red.
The red. He was throwing daggers.
That's literally what you said. I don't know. Red. I don't know. Daggers. I don't know.
Whoopsies.
You know, essentially this group is like the anti-jinn.
Right.
You know, you got to have these groups in these shows.
For sure.
That I'm learning.
There's got to be conflict.
There's got to be conflict. Here's your conflict. We're red daggers. We don't like Jen, but you seem different than Jen. So we're going to teach you about all of our ways. And we find out for sure what Bruno figured out on his own.
Right.
They confirm, if you open this gate, we're all dead.
Yeah. Everyone will die. What are you doing?
Like, show the map.
Don't do that.
They're like, see this map and see this map? If you open the gate, it's just this map.
Yep.
And I was like, I got it. Did you get it then?
Yes.
Yeah, then it was like, okay, I understand. Then they get ambushed. The Jinn are back. Man, I skipped the Pakistani wedding scene, but they attacked that place too.
Yeah.
You know, Kamala's friends kind of find out. The parents are like, what's going on with you? She's now like, no one knows, but there's this.
She was missing for a long time.
The superhero is called Nightlight.
Nightlight.
And
she has the Department of Damage Control after her.
Oh yeah,
now.
the DODC.
Yes.
The first end credit scene.
Absolutely. And these, you get the guy from Spider-Man, No Way Home, and also then now confirmed via like I saw an image from the movie, but like a woman in this show was like maybe in the reflection, like in the room there with the guy in Spider-Man No Way Home. But either way, the DODC is like pretty much the enhanced individual task force. So like you got these guys kind of like hunting down. I mean, you got some real
shady
is a good word, but like definitely like for this being Disney, you know, like they tackle some things around like racial profiling in a way where like they got
they show up at the mosque
oh yeah, they're like, oh, what color was she? Did she have an
Right.
accent? And all these things. And then like, oh, she was this, so we're gonna look at all the Moss now.
Mhm.
It was very interesting for sure. Like I definitely was feeling like, okay, they're they're going for this.
Yeah.
Like this is a government entity. We're learning about kind of like we saw Sword in WandaVision,
Mhm.
and then you see like Falcon and Winter Soldier, where it's just like dismantling, and now you got like this DODC. And like, I guess you technically met him in like Spider-Man, but now
The
it's
first Spider-Man, I think, right? They were collecting all the Fallout stuff from
the
the huge battle
from the after Civil War,
the original Avengers.
after New York.
All the New York stuff.
Those were the
Damage
guys that
control.
rolled in and like told the Vulture, and the guy's like,
Yeah,
I got
Vulture
100
was-
trucks.
Yeah, he was subcontracting for damage control.
He's like, I already promised all these jobs.
Yeah.
Keaton.
No more
Yep.
Michael Keaton, guys. I'm getting sad.
Yeah, right. He's right
hey,
there.
Hey, he's coming back in the Spider-Verse, right?
We'll see the Batman. Don't worry, we'll see it. We'll see him. All right. So, all right, that's good. Little jump back to the catch up. I like that, a little back and forth. But it all comes to a head in episode 5. This is it. All right. We got the Jinn. We got Kamala. And essentially, this is wild.
Yeah.
She's trying to get the gate open.
Yeah.
And this is where like we get a whole episode in between like the big thing that happens at the end, I believe. But she has the bangle on. She's fighting against, I need to say her name. I keep saying Kamran's mom, but it's, you guys tell from these pictures?
I can't. They're just so
They're so small. I know. I wish I could say it, but because here's the reason I want to say her name. The actor is amazing.
Yeah.
Kamran, like this is one of, I think she's a great villain.
Man, I think everybody in this show was
Oh, Aisha?
perfect.
Was that who you're talking about?
Aisha, that's her. Is that her friend or is that the mom? The mom is like the main bad guy essentially. For the longest time.
Yeah, the first 4 episodes.
It's just her
Yeah.
trying to get home, turning on Kamala's great grandmother, turning on her son even,
Yeah.
Kamran, saying
Yeah.
like, "Hey, listen, you don't want to help us? You're out of this." And during a big altercation, trying to get Kamala to open up the portal for her, she stabs with a knife, and when she hits it with a knife, this sends Kamala back in time.
Yeah, I was like, she's in a crowd of people. There's a train covered in people coming by.
And at this point,
And you're like, what just happened?
at that point, I did kind of go to myself, that's partition.
Mhm.
Like, this is partition. But I'm like, she's in the past?
Right. Yeah, like
1942.
Like,
we're
how?
time traveling now, like out of nowhere.
Out of nowhere, this is a time travel story.
Right. Out of nowhere.
All right, so that's the cliffhanger. Episode 5 is the classic second to last episode
Yep.
of a Disney Plus series, at least, and probably a lot of big titles are like this. But the reveal, the let's tell you all about it. Okay, you're gonna get a flashback before Kamala gets back in time, just several years, and probably 5 years, I think, based on what I'm thinking about. Like, we have the great grandmother of Kamala, who is a Jinn, on the run since the flashback we've seen, where she got the bangle in the 10 rings room.
Mm-hmm.
Remember? They split ways. This is the catch-up of like, oh, Kamran's mom found her in this village where she had been like essentially hiding out, had found a husband,
Started a family.
got pregnant, started a family, has a daughter now, a 5-year-old. This is Kamala's great-grandmother, actually. And is like, hey, listen, you've been hiding here for a while. I've been looking for you since the bangle. Remember when you were going to take us home?
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, I'll still help you. I just have to go get the bangle.
Yeah.
I'll meet you tomorrow.
Yeah.
And what does she do instead? This is the night. We are leaving the country.
Gotta get out of here.
This is wild.
Yeah.
This is wild because she's leaving because the Jinn have found her out. While simultaneously, partition is happening and the husband is really struggling. Her husband is really struggling with like leaving his home. And a lot of Pakistanis are leaving, right? So he's like, we got to go. I think it's too dangerous here for those reasons. And she kind of pushes him to be like, we're going to leave also because I have another reason. We got to go. So pick up the kid. Let's go in. It's train time. This is the story. This is what Grandma told us. This is it. A little grandmother gets lost. Mom is off on her own. The Djinn, I don't know her name. The actor was great.
Oh yeah,
they really set her up as a hero in this show. You know, she was a featured character. I feel like this actor did a great job. And we see actually what happens. We've heard rumblings of how this night goes from like Kamala's dad, like telling old stories. Well, how it actually goes is she gets stabbed by Kamran's mom and is kind of like on the ground. And now enter Kamala from time travel.
Yeah.
And like Kamala's like already picking up what she's putting down because I think she kind of got like a hint about this. You know, she's like, all right, well, I thought my great grandma needed to help, but she's stabbed and on the ground.
Right.
I guess I'll fill in for her.
Yeah.
Is what she's thinking. But what she actually does is she finds out, like, I find my grandma. She's a little kid. She's like, oh, come on. There's your dad.
Mm-hmm.
And she gives her her powers, the platform to kind of help
steps to get above the crowd.
Okay. Now this is where I get like, what happened? The stars kind of come out sprinkly. Was it Kamala?
Oh, for sure.
That was right. Because Kamala says, it was me. It was always me. We have now been told this is a time loop.
Yeah, this is cyclical.
Which is wild. This is MCU. You know, we have all sorts of thoughts about time travel. But it happens.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. She helps it, saves it, gets the grandma. I mean, the grandma that's stabbed, you know, tells Kamala. She's like, I don't know if I can do this. And she's like, it's already worked.
Yeah.
If you're here, we're good.
Yeah.
You know? So interesting, so cool. Like that time travel stuff, if you're into that, you're going to have a great time with that episode. And then boom, gets the kid on the train. Everything's going to work out. Comes back. The gate is open. This is episode 6, I think, premiere. Gate is open, or the end of episode 5. Gate's open. Let's try to we're the Djinn. Let's try to go in. Not going to fly. Apparently, it's too much energy. It did not work. Whenever they try to go in, it kills them.
Yeah, to like dust.
And Kamran's mom, the big bad, you know, up until this point.
I found the name. Najma.
Najma. Thank you. People that like are really into this show. Like, I mean, Imran would kill me. He's like, come on. I'm trying.
What are you doing?
Say it again.
Najma. Najma.
All right, so Najma is played by
Nimra
Buka. Good job, guys. Well, she kind of makes a call in the end because Kamala gives her a speech and says, like, you don't have to do this. She's like, my son, it's too late. I already turned my back on him. She's like, it's not too late. Go back and find your son. And she's like, I'll do you one better. I'll close this portal. And she sacrifices herself and does it.
Yep.
And to all of us, seems like everything's pretty much over. And we got an episode to go.
Yep.
Well.
Yeah, well, we're going to burn this time.
What happens? Like, really, actually. Because I got confused about this, too. The portal closes. A little bit of magic comes through the wall.
Whatever magic she held.
Right.
Transferred to her son.
Now, she also told Kamala in, like, episode 3 or so, you found your bangle. Because she says, well, I'm part Djinn. Isn't Kamran also part Djinn if he's your son?
Right.
And she says, yes. And your bangle awoken your powers. Maybe one day something will for him. So I kind of thought, what did it for him? Was it that portal being just in proximity? Was it because the mom tossed it?
But was it even in proximity?
Right.
Because I don't recall. Like, he wasn't there. He was in America.
Exactly.
And they were in Pakistan. So the death of his mother and whatever she had or the sacrifice set off his power. And he has no idea how to control it.
And this is coming into the finale of 5.
Yeah.
He's got this power. Whoa. Kamala's like, I'm just going to head home. Everything's cool.
Yep.
I did it. I did
yep. I returned triumphant.
Yes, I closed the portal. The bad guy is dead. I'm a superhero, you know?
Yep.
What does Kamran do? He goes and you're right, he's in America. He goes and finds Bruno. And Bruno's like the smart guy. He finally gets his name right, stops calling him Brian. And I mean the what are they called? The organization?
A DODC.
DODC finds him.
Yeah.
Because I think they discovered that Bruno's an associate. So a drone pops up, powers go off, explosion. End episode 5. Episode 6, big season finale, Generation Y is the title. Actually, that was the first one. No Normal. And banger finale. Kamal's going to have a lot to deal with. She thinks it's all good, and she finds out pretty quickly, oh, Kamran has powers. Go meet up with him and Bruno. I got to get him out of the city. The DODC is out to get him. Kamran has no idea that his mother is dead. And that, and Kamal is involved.
Right.
So it's like almost, her and Bruno decide to keep it a secret under wraps. And I need to get you out of the city. What am I going to do? I'm going to call my Red Dagger friend. This guy's enemy.
Yeah.
And he's like, you called the Red Daggers? She's like, you have any other ways to leave? And he's like, no. And she's like, okay. They finally have some of this love crush tension, coming to a head to where, this is really, these kids are really laying it on the line.
For sure.
These are great actors.
Truth.
You have them running through the school. You have these individual solo moments where Kamala and Kamran are about to have their moment. And underneath that, you can just feel like there's something between us. And it's like, you don't know that your mom's dead.
Mm-hmm.
And it's building. And this tension is building. And I'm like, God damn, is this guy going to be a bad, is he a bad guy?
Right.
And you see him become a bad guy pretty.
He's starting to break.
Oh, quickly. The cops, I'm going to push you off. The guy's coming after him. I'm going to really mess you up and go. And she has that moment in the school where he learns about his mom and says F it.
Right.
I'm going to hurt everyone in here that's coming after us, the DODC. And he starts to go after him. And she has that moment against the wall on her own, up close shot of just, it's time to be a hero. And I'm not going to let these people get hurt. And she goes against him, and it's a fight scene, and then it's a protect scene, and then it's out in the parking lot.
Yep.
My mom's here, my parents
Going
are here,
crazy.
the whole town's
There's a crowd.
here. There's police. They're all surrounding
They're
the
all
school.
shooting.
There's guns shooting at Kamran.
Yeah.
Oh shoot! She comes in, she shields him, and she actually gets blasted by him unleashing his power in a way that is almost how would you explain this? I mean,
in a vacuum? I don't know.
It's almost like lightning bolts of cotton candy in Cosmic World are choo 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 choo, and just every person is getting how many people got really injured? I want to know. They didn't really show much of them, and she ends up being hey, I gotta get off my ass and do this. She becomes, what is it called? When she's big.
Embiggen.
There you go.
Embiggen. She's this. I mean, it's what it sounds like. She's 12 feet tall. She's walking around. She's all stretched out. She's got almost a regular size head, but she's fighting them off. She's doing her thing. She protects everybody, but then he blasts her, knocks on her ass, and it's oh shoot. Not only is he about to get shot, but he is almost about to kill everyone I know. A lot of people. It's really branching out.
Huge crowd.
She creates a dome around them that stops the growth, has a little talk with them, and says I know it's a lot. It's time for you to go.
Yep. She got to get you out of here.
Busts a hole in the ground. He breaks out. He's free. He's gone. And cheers for Miss Marvel.
Boom.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I mean, there it is. She's the hero. The parents are there.
The DODC, they're going to take her out anyway.
Yes.
And the crowd.
The crowd says, we're with her.
Yeah.
She's in the community. Some people know who she is, but
right.
Most don't.
Yeah.
And they protect her. She calls into the guy from the DODC.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know this actor's name, but he's around. And he's like, you did exactly what I told you not to do. You've given us bad publicity. You're definitely fired.
For sure.
Get out of there. And the girl's like, okay, I'll back down.
Whatever, yeah.
And then we get, the really great wrap-up ending stuff. I mean, just getting right into it. These parents, and just to end up just being crazy supportive.
Yeah.
Hey, you're a superhero. The
Yeah.
dad's like real with her. He's like, but I just want you to be careful. You're not actually fighting crime, right? And she's like,
Yeah,
it's kind of the whole deal.
Yep.
And Bruno makes her a mask. Mom makes her a suit. And Dad helps her out with
The name.
Miss Marvel, which
Yeah.
apparently is like another interpretation of her name, Kamala, which means like wonder or marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So now she's Miss Marvel.
Yeah, you are always our Miss Marvel.
And you get her full suit
Yeah,
out in the town.
sitting on the lamppost, which is an iconic.
Iconic, right?
Right.
And she's going to protect Jersey City and anything around it. And in credit scene. In my room, hanging out, doing my thing. It's just kind of normal. Nope, definitely
no,
not.
Wait.
Oh, go ahead.
We still have the.
Oh, I'm missing. We're missing some stuff.
Yeah, you're missing.
we're missing the goodbye.
the
X.
goodbye. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Andy. The X. All right. So what's everybody doing? So her friend Bruno's going to college. He's going to
Yeah.
Caltech. Hey, can we just highlight the counselor?
But yeah.
Hey, you ever seen a movie? Yeah, I've seen a movie. You know the part where like the person gets the thing and like it all happens? You know, Devil Wears Prada or he's like, I'm Meryl Streep. You're the person. This is the moment. You do go to Caltech. He decides he does. Kamran left his cool car for him. He's
Yep.
going to drive it there. Her friend, right here. This is her friend.
Yeah. Nakia.
She was. I like Nakia's character
Yeah.
a
Oh, yeah.
lot.
She was running for the council on the mosque, or
Yes. And
Yeah.
and was like, the mosque is falling apart. The women aren't respected. Their shoes are getting stolen. They got
Yeah.
bad water. And it just so happens that Kamal's dad's like best friend's running, and you get like a really nice speech from Nakia. Nakia, is that it?
Yeah.
She was great. Anyway, so she's doing her thing, and Bruno tells Kamala at the end, he's like, "Hey, listen, I looked at your blood a little bit more. Getting kind of more into the science behind your powers, and yes, the bangle did open up something in you, but there was still something different from you." From your parents genetically. What I saw was a mutation. I mean, literally.
Yeah.
Nan it.
Man, I'm going to watch it tonight, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, I love X-Men. And I'm like, they're getting me. There's like all these things. And I'm like, okay, that's the perfect way to just start. And we talked about this, we're going to talk about it here in a minute. But, I feel like they had that card to play, and they held it until this moment of like a tease for the future.
Mm-hmm.
Thought it was awesome. What do you guys think?
Yeah. Great.
Definitely.
You heard it?
My favorite part of the show, probably.
We're going to get there. I can't wait to hear your, everybody. It's a good round table. Actually, it'll be, yeah. Actually, that's probably what we're going to do pretty close. It's getting ready to happen.
We'll get there.
It's getting ready to happen. Is that Miss Marvel? Oh, and then
End credits.
Now we got the end
now,
credit scene.
The end credit scene.
Mid credit.
What happens before the big moment in the end credits? She's just hanging out in her room?
She's just hanging out in her room.
That's it. Her mom's like, get down here, blah, blah, blah. Okay. And then her powers like light up. It's like her bangles like lighten up, her eyes. I jump up. She like, it almost looks as if you watch like Harry Potter and whenever they have like the little devices that like when you grab it, it transports you.
Yeah.
And it like sucks you in.
Into the
Right, the
chimney
closet.
or the closet or yeah.
Yeah, childhood nerd me would know all the words. So I'd be
Yeah.
like, oh, it was the I can't remember any of them now. She gets sucked into like the closet.
Yeah.
And like takes down the door. Miss Marvel. I'm sorry. Captain Marvel.
Carol Danvers.
Carol Danvers. Brie Larson
climbs out of the closet.
There she is.
looks at her.
She's like, what?
And yeah, and you're kind of thinking to yourself, oh, did she turn into no, she's like shit or shoot or something. Like, oh no, oh no. And just runs out of the room. Captain Marvel's here. Miss Marvel's gone.
Gone.
She's Captain Marvel wherever she was at. She could probably get pretty quickly though.
Yeah, who knows? She could have been off planet.
Oh, and when she's off planet, I mean, she could be light years and light
She
years
could
away.
be in space.
Okay, you're
Just
right.
so far.
Just flying in space.
Yes.
I don't know. When was the last time we saw Captain Marvel?
Endgame.
I believe it was
the end of Endgame.
I believe it was a credit scene.
Oh, we did in Shang-Chi.
I thought it was Shang-Chi,
It was her and Bruce Banner were in
which
there.
is interesting with
Yeah.
She-Hulk coming up.
Yeah.
Also, just the fact that
They're together.
I remember she like had to abruptly leave during that credit scene. She's like, all right, I got something else going on. I got to go, which happens every time she's in one of those like electronic like phone like video calls or whatever. She's always like, all right, got to go do something. See you later.
I feel like that's almost like Brie Larson for real. She's like, I actually do have to run.
Yeah.
I've got coffee. It's getting cold.
All right. I think that's Miss Marvel.
That's it.
All right, guys, I think we should do our thoughts, our ratings, we can do a couple round tables, see how far we get before we get to our very special surprise guest. Super pumped to show you guys this interview. We had a really fun time talking with Imran. You're going to hear from him in just a minute. Jock and Nerd Podcast there. Giggler, let's start with you. Miss Marvel, what'd you think?
I need to watch this again. You guys are way more jacked about it than I was over the past month or so.
I remember the last
week.
Episode. And you'd come in and
yeah.
You did say originally you're like it's not maybe my cup of tea, but I want to hear it. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I just have trouble like everyone's like saying how they related to like her like teenage angst and all this stuff, but like I think my high school experience was a lot different.
Just popular.
No, not that. Not that.
Just cool.
My
Look
parents
at
just
him.
didn't.
He was popular.
My parents didn't care what
guy.
my parents didn't care what I did. Like I could do whatever I want. It's
Oh,
not like I
man.
didn't have parents that were like, you can't go out, you can't go to AdventureCon. My parent would have been like, here you go. Yeah, if you buy your ticket, you can go.
Yeah. Do you have enough money?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Usually not.
Yeah.
Usually not. But I think definitely the more relatable part was the being obsessed with Avengers, creating podcasts, content on such matters.
Right?
I can get that. I can get that for sure.
Did you see the play on that? That podcast they showed was this. It was called like This Superhero Life.
Yeah.
Which is if you follow NPR, I mean This American Life.
This
it was
American
it was
Life.
the same logo and everything. I loved it.
Yeah.
Ira Flato.
But with this show,
yeah, that's Ira.
Ira Glass?
Yes,
Or Ira
Glass.
Flato.
Yeah. That's good. All right.
I mean, it's an origin story. It got me more excited for the Marvels movie. So
Yes.
it definitely did its job. It just wasn't exactly what you said. It wasn't my cup of tea. I'd probably put it in the bottom couple of these Marvel shows, but
Yeah.
I really need to watch it again.
And how
because
did you watch it? Was it?
I was week to week,
Yeah.
and
probably
I
even
think
a little
I
spread
think
out.
a binge could do me good here.
Okay.
Because
I
like we
think
were
so.
talking about it, and there's parts that you guys were talking about that I don't even like remember.
Well,
So-
I'm even for you fans
But
that
you're-
for you fans that really know the show, you're probably like, yeah, Logan missed half of it. Like I
Yeah.
did for
This
sure.
is really like a glaze.
which I think is a good way to do it.
Yeah,
Like it was
for
almost
sure.
it was almost like a new try a
Mhm.
bit where I was like, listen, we always go episode by episode on these big like season recaps, but for me it's almost fun to conceptually think about how I process the story.
Right. The overarching story.
Absolutely. And I will agree, Andy, like, to any fan that might be feeling like this, I felt similar. I was in between you two, just I never do this, but I'll jump in between. Is Scotty really was having fun with it. You were just like, okay. I was really in between. I was like, yeah, I can kind of see both sides. So I was watching week to week, and then I watched in the one day. And I did it exactly like I said, like we talk about, like you talk about a lot, making it into a one watch, if they would just clip the credits and whatever. And I said it to Carrie, like, this is one of the better movies I've just ever seen. Like, when you really watch it, bookend to bookend, it felt just, it's so cohesive.
Yeah.
And almost like a little long. If you were watching it as a movie, you'd be like, this is a little long. Like, but that's a TV show. You just have that little bit extra exposition. But anyway, it's up to you at the end of the day. But I would say that my experience was a rewatch got me so jazzed about it.
this always gets me jazzed for a rewatch. Talking about it with you guys, that's for sure. But I'll get there eventually.
What would you rate it today?
Today?
Yeah.
I'd go probably 3.0.
And that's probably inflated.
because of you guys.
Yeah. I bet if.
Well, I mean, I just said I
If
wanted
it
to
was-
rewatch it. So how could I go below a 3?
That's good. That means you're feeling. That's exciting, though.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a testament to mostly superheroes.
I feel like if we would have asked you for a rating when you sat down tonight, you would have been like 2.7.
A 0. No, I'm just
right.
kidding. It was not. I mean,
All right, Scotty.
Oh man, I had a lot of fun with this. This actress Iman Vellani, I mean, she really knocked it out of the park. Like, I felt like she was made for this role.
I mean, I don't know enough about the character, but all I thought was, she is great to watch.
Yes, like she was
simply
having
put.
fun. Everyone in the cast was, I think, perfect.
The
Like,
scene where
I didn't
she's like
feel
coming home.
anything was out of place in this casting.
Yes.
Which, Marvel, come on.
Who's that?
Every time.
They have this casting person that they always name. It's probably on. It's probably on here. And I feel like she always nails it. Is casting on here?
I don't see it.
Do you see casting anywhere, Andy?
no.
We'll have to look this up because I always notice this on these Marvel movies. It's usually the same person.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this person.
Of course.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
All right, good.
I think like some of the meta elements I really enjoyed, like when they're texting and it pops up on the sign on the building, or they're talking and you get the thought bubbles and stuff like that. I really, really dug that.
Like building it into like the landscape.
Right.
Like
and showing that this is modern. This is happening now. This
Yes.
is, and it's, I think it really could bring in, the kid element of, we're trying to bring a new generation. This isn't just for 30 to 40-year-old dudes. Like, we want a different element to watch these programs.
Yeah.
And just like the artwork, even this poster is just so beautiful.
It's so beautiful.
And I really enjoyed like the end credits of every episode.
You just watch
where they're showing the murals on the buildings and all that other kind of stuff. And I think this show was put together really, really well. Man, I can't wait to watch it again. I'm gonna say like a 3.5.
Wow.
And this show moved up in my top 5 of the shows so far, I think.
When's the last time you saw it too? I mean, it's been a few weeks.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I mean, that's
I haven't watched it since the last episode aired.
Yeah.
And I watched a quick 10-minute recap of the whole series today.
You remember what you watched?
I think it was like Mr. Recap.
Man of Recaps?
Man of Recaps.
We use him all the time.
That's what it
He's
was.
great.
Man of Recaps.
Hey, Man of Recaps, YouTube.
First time I ever watched it, I was like, I need a recap. And it was like episode 1, episode 2. And I was like, no, I want the whole thing.
And you can find it.
And I was like, okay, Man of Recaps, here we go. And you see his little guy down in the corner, and he's talking, and he's boom, boom, boom.
It's exactly what you need.
And I was like, perfect.
Yes.
This was perfect.
We just need to start clipping our full episodes into like a 1 minute.
Yeah.
It would just take me hours of editing. Okay, I'll jump in. Great takes, guys. Fair shares. Miss Marvel. Again, I already kind of said it. I was in the middle ground. I rewatched this thing Sunday. This was 4 days ago, and fell in love with this show. Fell in love with this show. And I think I realized I was really relating to a lot of it personally. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the interview here in a minute. And didn't realize that I had some of that, like, I guess, authoritative, like, kind of traditional family structure.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing this kid, it was interesting because I also, like, I watched this stuff with Carrie. And it's like changing like everything now, because now I see my perspective. I also see I try to see like this perspective as much as I can, like not knowing much about like a Pakistani American girl that's 17.
Right.
And then I see Carrie's perspective, and like Carrie's like a nerdy kid too that like was an outcast.
Mm-hmm.
So like I had a lot of like different sides of watching this, and it really just made me feel good. It made me feel emotional. It made me feel a lot of heartfelt. And these actors, I think, these characters are what brought it home. Had a really good time. I think this is probably one of the best MCU origin stories I've ever seen. You know, you compare this to a story like Captain America: The First Avenger, and if you really could, like Scotty always says, if you could really cut these into a movie, if you take out the credits and you really did, if you could play it, in a movie format that was just you might cut a little bit because you have a lot of TV show stuff and maybe a scene or two that you could keep on the extra scenes on the the DVD, really flashing back. But you guys know what I'm saying, the extra features.
Yeah.
Like it really would like hold up like story to story, just like a different story. And I think it was really well done. I think that, I am constantly, challenging Marvel Studios and Disney because they're so big. Like, can they do this? Because they're a please everybody. But, like, the truth is, like, it seems like Marvel Studios is just, like, this machine that's running now. And, like, it seems like they're just kind of sitting back.
Right.
And
it's almost running itself at this point.
And, like, you look at what we talked about, news and rumors with Comic-Con and the way they're rolling these titles out. Like, you're almost like, yeah, it feels like they're kind of in a groove. This show, for me, felt like, wow, they're really doing it.
Yeah.
Because this could have been the one that was like, I don't know this. No, a lot of people don't. Like, it's
skip it. And
yep.
Like, this goes to show me that I don't think anything is skippable.
Right.
Like, there's
for me.
No.
Not yet.
And like, it's good.
That's what Imran was kind of saying. Is like, maybe, but I'm like, I know, not for me, not yet. I'm still in.
I get that everything is not for everyone, but I don't know how anyone could watch this show and not have fun.
Yeah,
or at least take something away from it.
Now, I'll tell you this: when I watched episode to episode, like I'm just struggling with that.
It felt a little disjointed,
and it's also like a lot of shows. It's not
anything.
It's just when you break it up, it's just different. Like The Boys, I think of The Boys because I think about like it didn't matter that I hadn't seen it for a week, and I'd open that up and I'd be like, "There's another, here comes an F-bomb, another fucking banger."
F me up again.
Like here we go, yeah, and like I remember, when it's good, it's good. But Ms. Marvel, 6 episodes, MCU, I mean, yeah, I give it 3.6.
Nice. Edging me out.
Well done.
Price is right.
I almost went a little higher.
I like that.
All right, guys, we have a great interview for you right now. I promise you it wasn't intentional, but he's Pakistani American. And I was so glad that, he kind of brought that into the fold. And he's a good friend of ours, a good friend of the show, been on his podcast. He'll be back on ours. A lot of mix and mingling happened with these folks. It's Imran at the Jock and Nerd Podcast. Here he is talking about Ms. Marvel right now.
Well, look, let me just preface this by saying, yes, my name is Imran. My parents migrated from Pakistan in the 70s to Chicago. Me and my sister were born here. I grew up reading comic books, drawing Spider-Man, living one foot in the Eastern culture, living one foot in the West in Chicago. And then I discovered this comic book in like 2013, 2014, created by G. Willow Wilson, a Muslim herself. And it blew me away. But to see they made a show about my life and they put it on television, it was just delightful. The things that I've experienced my whole life were on a big budget TV show for the whole world. It was wild. And before the show came out, I was very worried because I wanted them to get this right. I was really excited for this. Iman Vellani, this is her first gig. That was like my main concern. I was like, this show is going to ride on whoever they cast, right? So that was my one worry. My other worry was she's an Inhuman in the comics, and they burned the Inhumans on that really bad TV show, even though it's great. The Inhumans are a great storyline. The story in the comics is great, but we all know stretchy powers do not look good on film. I don't care how you can massage it. You could throw $20 million. Stretchy powers look so I'm like, how are they gonna do this? My fears were for naught. The show is delightful, was so charming. She is so relatable and so like authentic. I thought she looks like a lot of my cousins, first of all, right? So, and written well, the cultural stuff, just like matter of fact in there, but what a solid fleshed out origin story for her. They kind of took their time. You got to meet her. All the side characters are great. And somehow they made it specific and universal at the same time. I hear people going, I can relate to a Pakistani American immigrant teenage girl. And I'm like, that's amazing. And it was, there were specific things. There was things her mom said in the show that my mom has been saying to me for years, right? In Urdu. And I was
love
like,
that.
oh my God, they just said that on TV. But this is this generation Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
It's a coming of age story. And I think, is it a perfect show? No, there's maybe some pacing, some balance issues. It was interesting to see how some people wanted more superhero stuff, less cultural stuff. So other people were digging the coming of age cultural stuff and they wanted less superhero stuff. It had a little balance issues, but I thought it managed to nail the ending. And she is so great. She's great in this. And it's just, I can't also, remember the dude, the food vendor in the Joff who sells the gyros that with the big beard in the show?
Yes.
I went to high school with that dude.
No, you didn't.
Nice. I did. His name is Azir Usman. We used to do theater together.
Are you serious?
No, we were actually cast in the same role in this one play, and then we would alternate. He's a stand-up comic. Actually, he knows Dave Chappelle and all these amazing stand-up comics. And he's there, and I'm here. I don't know what that says about me. But I was like, oh my God, that's the guy I went to high school with. Azir. It was great seeing him in the show. So all around, just like a really special, delightful show. I mean, they showed us a holiday celebration, an Islamic holiday, Islamic Pakistani wedding.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Pakistan.
Yes.
They got people Googling the partition.
Yep.
And when we got to see the partition, I don't think I've ever seen anybody depict the partition in any Hollywood thing.
Right.
And that was wild. And something my mom went through, and I can tell you some more immigrant stories that will blow your mind. Like what happens to people when they come here. It's pretty crazy stuff. But I want to know from you guys, were you able to relate to it? And this is what I like to ask. Did you have any questions about any of the cultural stuff? Where you're like, why is this? Because some people had some interesting questions, and I was like, oh, I'll tell you why they do it.
Well, I'm gonna do this first because I'm gonna express to you the feelings in all three of our hearts after that.
Yeah, that was great.
And man, I said at dinner, I believe it's one of those things that white people are terrified to say.
Yeah.
I believe Imran's Pakistani. I have no am I getting it mixed up? But to hear that take, I felt, I'm gonna kick us off. I felt like this is every child. This is a child that's going through. But that's how I felt personally of the traditional family, and so set in your ways of trying to be a good parent, but the fear of everything that's happened to you, and you're just a kid. She's just a kid.
Yeah.
And I was just really taken back by it. I watched it twice, and the second time through, I just couldn't believe just really how beautiful and it was relatable to me, which I felt two sides of that. I felt like, God damn, you're such a narcissist. You're like, oh, it's about me. But the other side of it was it's Disney, Yeah. So part of me goes, okay, they're doing a good job kind of making all of this relatable, but it's about a specific culture. So when you say, do I have questions? Yeah, my first question is I feel like I've got the answer from your great take. Was it accurate?
Was it accurate is the question. Was there something that wasn't, that was out of place?
And it's going to be under a microscope. It's Disney.
Yeah.
But your take.
They nailed the majority of it. Really, they nailed everything from the throwing the little Urdu words in there to how, the fear of disappointing your Asian parents is a huge thing. The fact that the males always get all the treatment and they forget that they even have girl children. That just like me and my sister, I have a sister, that happens all the time. I'll come home and my mom's like, oh my God, what's Imran gonna eat? And my sister's like, I'm sitting right here. You don't care, right? So they nailed all that stuff. The joke in the Desi Asian community is the show was realistic up until the mom's like, I'm proud of you. Until she goes, I love you, baby.
Love it.
Yeah,
okay,
and exactly. All of us
Yeah.
Like, I mean, but again, like, I mean, I guess I'm like projecting my own childhood. I guess.
No, but it's great when you could see yourself and stuff. That's what makes it more endearing. And this thing, the show managed to be, like I said, completely universal, but like specific to a set of people, and the generation gap stuff. Yeah, they nailed it. They nailed it. That the brother's beard is incredible.
Oh yeah, you could see it right there.
I mean, yeah, he's right. I mean, it's like Scotty, you know,
Scotty's got a good beard too, man.
Yes,
yeah, that is impressive.
All right, that's my next question. Actually, I mean, I don't want to hog the mic here, but I was going to ask about your family though. Like, is your family like watching this show, and like, what have they talked to you about this show?
So my sister's watched it. She enjoys it. So there was a weird thing. My sister and a friend that she grew up with who has kids now, they watched it. Now, the kids who are Kamala's age were like, I can't really relate to Kamala because they are doing a first generation thing, right? Like the parents they just came over.
Yep.
But they would technically we already at second generation Pakistani families, right? So like they couldn't relate to Kamala because their mom grew up here.
Yep.
So it was but the fact that it was her great grandmother made more sense. But like her parents would be like her mom's mom would be like my mom. So
yeah,
I would be like, I'm at the parent stage, and I'm clearly, not have a thick accent and still don't know how things work in America.
You're just as cool as that dad, though.
Oh, the dad was great. I mean, he dressed up as the Hulk for her.
God, yes.
I love that scene.
Arrested Development thing.
That scene is heartbreaking.
I know. And so, right, exactly. And that was completely accurate. Like, just disappointing and just hurting your dad. And it's all kind of quiet. And that's the last thing you want to do.
But again, I guess, like, were my parents Pakistani? Like, I'm like looking at all these scenarios. I'm like, gosh, I really I guess I really understand like a lot of the fundamental dynamics of just the parent-child relationship. Obviously, I don't know anything about partition.
Yeah. Like you said, it's so specific yet so relatable.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like they nailed it. Great writing, and like you got to give credit to Bisha K. Ali, who's the head writer and showrunner. And the talent, like those guys who just did the Batgirl movie got canceled. Their episodes were great.
Yeah, they had two in here, right?
Yeah. I say give them. When we get to give them Avengers: Secret War, we'll get to that later.
Oh yeah,
those
we will.
Poor guys. I feel bad for them. But so partition. Here's a weird story. We don't know how old my mom is.
You don't?
We don't. Nobody knows because she was little when the partition happened. So. She was born, God knows where. There's no birth certificate. There's no records. They didn't go to the hospital. So she remembers being real young. She doesn't know how young. And then when it was time for her to go to school, her sisters just made up a date and a year so that it would match the age you're supposed to be when you go to school. Wow. Like, I will have to cut her open and count the rings to find out how old I don't know. So we're like, hey, it's your every year. We're like, hey, it's your supposed birthday. You're maybe turning late 70s, early 80s. Who knows?
Parts of me are truly envious. I would love just to not know.
I'd rather not know.
Yeah. You stop counting at some point anyways.
Right. All right, guys. Any other questions for Imran on Miss Marvel before just get yourself ready, Imran. We want a rating, obviously, but of course. But I also want to hear kind of like your, if you got a final rant in yourself about this show and a rating, like it's your time. Any questions from you two or any thoughts? We're going to get into it.
Just questions like when they call the kids beta all the time.
Yes.
Is that a common?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Everybody asks that. It's a great question.
Yes.
Beta means in the broad sense, my child. So it's the masculine too. So it can be used as son and beti as daughter. So you could say but you can also say beta for all the children. So that's my mom would say that all the time. Beta, chalo, let's go. Utho, like get up. There's so the scene where she won't get up from the bed. She's sleeping in Pakistan, and her mom is like, "Chalo, Utho," saying, "Let's go, get up." Literally, my mom has said to me so many times because I'm lazy and I don't wake the fuck up.
Yep.
Right? And she's like, "Chalo, Utho." I'm like, shut up. So it's just beta just means child. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice.
I was too lazy to Google it, so this is
all right.
Here we are.
I do want to ask more like MCU. Like kind of like all right, time travel. What do you think about this sequence?
Yeah, that was weird. Okay, so there's a couple weird things. Like we saw a time loop. There is a time loop for some reason in this. Now, granted, it's to show like her connection to the past. I do like how the bangle kind of is similar to Inhuman DNA. It's still connected to her DNA.
Sure.
It's still part of her lineage. And then, of course, we get that reveal what Bruno says at the end. And we get the little stinger, and he says the word mutation. And apparently, originally in the comics, they wanted her to be a mutant, but it was at a time when Marvel was kind of freezing out the X-Men because Fox had them, and they didn't want to give them anything else, and they like stopped making X-Men comic books. Apparently, now in the Miss Marvel comics, they're trying to lean her more to be a mutant.
Yeah, and to me, that felt like, in terms of storytelling planning. Yeah. They had this piece that may have been a goal from the intent, but that they held to the vest until the end because they don't want it to be she's cool because she's a mutant.
Right. They don't want it to be about that. And I felt similar with the post-credit scene, the little Carol Danvers cameo, like you were kind of expecting her, but you didn't want it to overshadow Kamala's journey.
And it certainly didn't because there's Brie Larson again.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's going on? First of all, one thing is the bangle connected to in one episode, we saw on the ground when they were in that flashback, the 10 rings carved into the ground.
Yeah, they find the bangle, 10 rings on the ground.
Yeah. On an alien, possibly Kree, some kind of alien arm.
And we're all thinking the Shang-Chi 10 rings are definitely Eternal related. They're so old. You know, they have that end credit scene from Shang-Chi where it's like, oh, we don't even know how old these things are. Like my first thought was like Eternal's metal. Like you think of what's his Phastos that makes all the scientific things. Like, are we getting related to these things that have been around for a long time that no one truly has revealed the answers to us, the audience, yet?
Is the bangle, is the 10 rings the other bangle, or is this a matching set?
Right. Or is it completely, or is this the one they made that's like what does the bangle do other than like awaken Kamala's powers?
Is this
because the rings have
the new Terrigen Mist?
Right,
possibly,
but if you compare rings to bangle, right, the 10 rings are like energy, and they move, and they can you control them a little bit. The bangle, but is that specific to the person? Because it is like the Terrigen Mist. You're so right. You might be right.
It unlocks whatever's already in you.
Yeah,
right.
What did you guys think of her actual powers when we saw them? I thought it was decent.
I thought it was good. There's a lot of people that complained before the show.
I know
that they were changing her power set, and I was like, it's the same.
It looks amazing.
It's basically the same.
When she does the scene on the rooftop where she finally is like, I'm going to get a handle on this a little bit, and bang, 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 I run, I jump. Yeah. I mean, I get the goosebumps down to the butthole. You know,
I love the platform running is so cool. Sure. Like every time she does that, and she does the embiggen, and you know what? It looked good. Like it looks goofy, but it's supposed to kind of look goofy.
Embiggen?
Yeah, I remember at the end when she does the embiggen.
The big hand.
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think she says that in the comic book. She's like embiggen.
And she just gets huge.
And she gets huge.
The big giant fist with the stretchy arms.
You know
that was wild.
The cool parts for me is watching, I'm obviously like a nerd about this stuff. Carrie, my fiance, is like become a fan through me. Yeah, but she loves it, and on that part she goes, holy shit. And I was like, it is really cool. Like, this is fun.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the whole like Home Alone style trapping shenanigans in that last episode. But it had a lot of heart, and so that kid Kamran escapes. He's out there.
Yep.
And now where is she? She's swapped places with Captain Marvel. Ooh, I like
wherever she was.
And is that what it is? It's like it's a swapski.
Yeah,
it's a swap. It was kind of confusing. It was hard to tell. Did she turn into her? Because in the comics, when she gets her powers, she makes herself look like Captain Marvel.
She can mold her shape.
Miss Marvel, because she's like, I'm a brown girl from Jersey. This is not gonna work. But it was a swap. So, like, was Captain Marvel in danger at that moment? What has Kamala just found herself? Where? What dimension? We'll find out in the Marvels, of course.
How did you feel about the naming of Miss Marvel and the path they took?
Oh, so that was I almost had tears.
Oh.
The fact that Bruno makes her mask.
Yeah.
The red daggers leave her the red scar.
Oh yeah, I just got goosebumps. Damn, I guess I care about that.
Her mom comes around and gets a costume made.
Yeah.
And her dad is like, Kamal in Urdu means wonder or marvel.
Marvel.
I was like, oh my God. He's like, you've always been our little Miss Marvel. Fucking perfect.
The mom with the suit, the dad with that. I'm realizing I cried pretty good on both. Like I was like, oh shit, like this is really hitting. Like this mom's proud. She's like, I went out and got this thing made.
Yeah.
All right. Any other?
That's where it gets unbelievable.
And I mean, you talked about the people that are like, oh, it's not enough superhero. It's not enough with the culture. Like, did they just do it? Like, did they just do it?
Right.
Did they finally just
yin yang?
Did they finally make a superhero like personal cultural story that kind of works?
I think they did. It was, the little nitpicky things would be like, yeah, she learned how to drive and now she knows how to drive a stick shift in Pakistan. All right, whatever. That's fine. But in the time loop, I'm wondering, does she have time traveling powers? Was a little weird, but
yeah.
This show is very special to me, and it's become one of my favorite, I think, out of all of them. I'm a little biased, of course, but yeah.
But it's like, it's really hitting home, though. You're feeling it.
Yeah.
The time travel thing, just touch on it one last time. I was thinking, I guess this is a lot like the story in Loki, the show, where they're like, what the Avengers did was supposed to happen.
Right.
So, like, this is what's always happened in this timeline, and some time travel is permitted essentially. Yeah. And we also know that actually the TVA is now like turned on its head.
Yeah, so they don't know. Yeah, so but
this is like time travel at this point in the junction might be different than what it was at that time too.
That's true. Everything is all fractured and going crazy too. So
all right, final rant, and you can rate it. We use a 4. We use a 4.0.
Yeah.
But you can do whatever you want though. I feel weird about telling people they have to, especially people that have podcasts.
I will follow house rules. Look, we should be able to adapt when you come into somebody else's house.
Answer me this about a rating, because we have like a philosophical take on this where it's like we rate on the day.
Yeah.
Like today's the day, so you give a rating, and then like if you rate it again in 6 months, like that's your rating. Like I'm assuming I'll be honest, I haven't listened. I always wait till after we record and I listen to yours to make sure I'm not copying your show. But like I'm gonna listen to them after I talk about this, and then we get just like a bonus appearance by Imran himself, which is awesome. But like I was thinking about that, Oh shit, what were we talking about?
Well, look, ratings.
Exactly.
I don't think it's hard
because you rated it on your show. So like, are you going to bring the same rating? Or are you like, I'm going to rate it today, and it might like I want you to compare your rating today to what you did on your show, I guess.
I think it was going to be the same, but in general, no, ratings aren't set in stone. You can feel different. The thing can change. It's fluid. People grow. Your tastes change. Your rating's going to change. But I will probably rate it the same I rated on the show. It's probably I had WandaVision at number 1, and I put this one now as my favorite show. 3.5 for you guys.
Thank you.
Yes.
3.5. That's strong.
Setting the bar.
Is still good. And again, it's not a perfect show by any means, but the fact that I saw basically the joke on our podcast is I go, I'm Miss Marvel. I'm basically Miss I just had to be a girl. I wish I was her age doing the same thing. Wish I had got bitten by a spider so I could have Spider-Man powers. I made my mom's friend sew me a spider. This is so embarrassing.
I love this.
Sew me a Spider-Man suit, and I wore it under my clothes to school.
Oh, perfect.
All right, so listen.
Just to feel
you've got to be ready.
Now listen. This is again ego or like actually relatable.
Yeah.
Like God, what a game. But I did this, Imran. I had my mom. I didn't play sports in middle school. I did in high school. I was like, all right, I'll try a few. Middle school though, the football team. Like, they were the cool kids.
Yeah.
I didn't play on the team.
Yeah.
I had my mom make me a jersey. And I put my name on the back, and it was like an off shade of the school colors, and I just wore it to school.
Nice.
Oh, shit. Everybody
everybody was like, you're a fucking loser.
Like,
that's
a bold move.
You can't do that. You got to be on the team. Dude. And I was like, I'm on my own team.
Right. Yes.
Go.
That's the best response.
That's why I wore clothes over my Spider-Man suit.
One man wolf pack over.
I'm seeing like why me and Imran we're getting more grooved together. We have like I don't know what it is about this Bonne Terre is where I grew up in Missouri.
Yeah.
So I don't know what the comparison is. What's going on in Bonne Terre that's like Pakistan? I don't understand.
It's just as rural as it sounds.
All right, tell people where they can find Jock and Nerd, and maybe like an episode if you got it in the docket, like a title that's coming up for you guys to get people jazzed.
Absolutely, we can. Oh, whoops! I switched the screen here. Hold on. You can visit jockandnerd.com. We'll get you links to everything, how to subscribe. We just did. I would like to recommend a 80s action movie tournament. Showdown bracket style to determine the greatest action movie of all time, and the winner was picked. It was a lot of fun to do. We're gonna do a 90s one coming up soon.
So that was one episode.
Yes, it was one, but it was part of one episode. We did we did a thing on our Patreon where we picked the movies.
Right.
And then on the episode, we actually did a tournament style. Anthony hosted, and he got us old folks to make the selection since we grew up with these movies. That's episode 445. So if you go to jockandnerd.com/445, the 90s one, I believe, is going to be harder. I have a feeling, because there's a lot of great action movies in the 90s.
How do we, like the three of us, get involved? And then how do like our fans get involved?
Oh, well, you can join our Facebook group where we're going to post all the list of movies that we are going to that are going to be in the competition, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can leave your thoughts there. And maybe we'll have an open poll and vote and see work that into the mix.
Fantastic, man. Well, thank you. I know we kept you a little bit longer. You
no
also
problem.
waited a little longer for us, so I really appreciate it. Like you said, you've been on 4 podcasts this week, so the fact that
I deserved it. Now we're even.
Well, no, absolutely not. That was just more about the camaraderie of like understanding that you know what it's like to run your show.
Of course,
you know. And I just appreciate the time, man, and I love staying in touch with you. We'd all be down to do this kind of thing with you all the time.
Always a pleasure coming on and see you guys, man. Thank you so much. So good geeking out with you.
See you next time, buddy.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
Have a good one.
See ya.
Have a good one.
See you, Imran. Have a good night.
Bye.
Go check it out. Ms. Marvel, MCU, mostlysuperheroes.com/MCU. We'll keep talking about all the titles and keep it going. Let's talk about what's coming up. Oh, my God. I mean, packing it in, fellas. So much fun. I mean, that was so fun. And just like with the Patreon pre-show today, the fan mail with the giveaways, the event, the concerts. I'm just feeling super lucky. I think we should all take a minute just to like say thanks. Like, we're very grateful. Like, would you agree?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
We say it every time. This is a golden age of not even comic books, but content.
There's
just so much stuff to talk about.
You know what they called it in the 60s and 70s? Stuff,
man.
Just stuff is cool, man. And there's a lot of stuff on the horizon. And I do my best to update this list, just kind of looking ahead. I kind of look ahead about 6 months and just kind of see, like, what do we got? It's actually a throwback. It's not on the 6 month schedule, but Blade 2. We got to do that at some point.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, we got to do Blade 3 eventually, too.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at timing-wise.
Blade Trinity.
Obviously. I'm spoken like a real fan that's actually seen it. Black Panther's coming up. Hey, would you guys want to talk about Nope? Anybody going to see this Nope movie?
I need to see it for sure.
It looks amazing.
Yeah.
I want to see it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
It doesn't have to be the meat. We just got to watch it and see how we feel.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering why Pinocchio's on here.
Yeah,
what?
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
Tom Hanks, man, come on.
I didn't know he was in it.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Now do you know why it's on the list? And also, were you into the Pinocchio cartoon as a kid?
Yes.
This is it, I think. Like, they're kind of showing you that this is the cartoon, but like, not.
This is live action, but it's also CGI.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like the Lion King remake,
right.
but now it's because they've made Pinocchio movies.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I've had enough of this.
I think he's public domain at this point.
Yeah.
All right. In September, we have Spider-Man No Way Home, which I just watched 2 nights ago, guys. And man, what a movie!
Yeah.
The more fun stuff version. I mean,
back in theaters.
We at least gotta like see it, right? And then just
And
put on
it's
Whatchu
like,
Watchin'
hey,
or something.
What was different? What did
Yeah, and
what
like,
did they add?
That's an obnoxious title.
Oh yeah.
Because like how much? It's gonna be like what? 2 extra scenes?
People say, "Oh, it's a money grab." Of course, it's a money grab.
Spider-Man,
They're a business.
the
They want to
money
make
grab.
money.
All right,
I'll see it.
All right,
Fine. Take my money.
Yeah, we'll see it. We'll watch.
Shut up and take.
We'll
my
watch.
money.
We'll watch Hocus Pocus 2. We'll watch Halloween.
I'm gonna skip on Hocus Pocus.
Your kids will want to watch it. I don't know. Maybe not. They don't. Do they know about the first one?
Yeah, it's
Halloween ends.
they'll
I'm there.
watch it.
I mean,
Spooktober is coming.
it is. Oh man, busting with the boys. You know they're ready. They're all about that Spooktober life. Idiots. Halloween ends. Will's gonna have his mask for sure. I mean, you guys you like Halloween, Scotty? Like the Halloween
like
movies? Michael Myers?
No, not really.
You're not really.
I would say I'm more of a Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Jason.
Why? What's it? What's getting you there? Because you've seen all of all these.
for sure. I don't know. It's just a little more
Like
exciting.
edgy?
Yeah.
Because like the Halloweens are a
Boobs.
little. Oh, more boobs.
Yeah.
More naked.
Yeah.
For sure, way more naked.
Yeah. It's,
What do you guys?
teenage campsites.
You guys feeling cool about Black Adam?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Unless they shelve it.
It's.
Yeah.
I think they're
like-
too far on that one.
Oh really?
I'd-
They're about to shelve a Batman movie with Michael Keaton in it.
Yeah. But how much we don't know. I mean, this is
more nothing.
I dare someone from DC to come up to The Rock and tell him his movie is canceled. I
Thank you.
dare.
That's a
them.
great point.
Any other shows coming up? We got some many shows happening.
She-Hulk next week.
Oh, TV. I'm at concerts, but hey,
shows.
but
Jack White.
Jack White coming.
I think it's August 28th
at
the Music Park,
St. Louis Music Park. That's where we saw Coheed.
Yep.
Okay, so yes, TV shows. She-Hulk next week.
Yeah.
So you're listening to this live, or you're listening to this when the episode comes out? I mean, it's this week.
Yeah.
Oh, don't forget about I Am Groot.
I Am Groot.
Groot dropped today.
I watched that yesterday, and it was
tell us
cute.
Cute.
Yes.
I mean, we're talking
It's
just a couple minute episodes.
16 minutes of content. So
okay.
And
very quick.
Did you have fun?
They're not even the episodes. It's like 4 different specials that have unique titles, and yeah, it's
any other characters?
fun.
I mean, there's
not really.
Oh,
It's-
God.
What?
Spoilers. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't need any other characters.
I mean, they could have mixed a little
He's
Star
the
Lord in there.
cutest thing in the entire MCU, maybe the whole world.
Okay.
That's what I thought the whole time. I was like, this is perfect.
So we're done with Baby Yoda.
Yeah,
We're moving on to Baby Groot.
Oh, I've never left.
How are you guys gonna watch She-Hulk? You guys are episoding it
For sure.
You guys always do.
You know, this is probably just like most shows. I don't think I did it with Miss Marvel, but I definitely did it with Hawkeye. I would turn it on
Yeah.
in the car
Yeah, you were watching
on my drive to work.
You were pumped for that one.
Oh, for sure.
It's not going to be on that level.
She-Hulk.
I'm excited.
This is definitely a come home from work on Wednesday, sit down in the theater and
Thursday.
pop it on.
I do.
Thursday?
It's Thursdays.
I thought they moved it to Wednesday.
I like that he calls it at the theater. It's his house.
The theater, yeah, that's my house.
I was like, wait, what?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I think I thought they moved it from Wednesdays to Thursdays.
Okay, I thought it was the opposite. I thought it was Thursdays to Wednesdays. But either way, I'm watching it that day when I get home from work.
You know,
kick the boots off.
After my experience with Miss Marvel, maybe I'll just do the same thing.
Yeah.
Watch it week to week.
Week to week.
And then
rewatch.
And then like, we're going to talk about it? I'll just watch it one day before.
I don't know how many episodes. Do we have an episode count on that? 6, 8, 9?
I don't know, actually.
And they're dropping 2, I think.
Is it 2 on day 1?
I thought I heard that, but that might be like old news.
I think that might be old
I'm not
news.
sure. I hope.
Well,
I like when they do multiple the first week. It gets you going.
They've got a lot of weeks until their next movie. And I don't think anything comes out until Wakanda Forever.
Correct.
I mean, yeah.
And unless the Halloween special happens, which I've seen nothing about.
I haven't heard
I expect to see something at D23.
I mean,
if it's coming,
September
they've
8th,
got to show something.
There's 2 things that weekend. There's September 8th, September 9th. D23.
And then
Disney Plus Day.
Disney Plus
Disney Plus Day.
Disney Plus Day is the 8th. D23 is the next day.
Right.
That's when you're. I mean,
that's when we're getting.
And
something.
if not, then you're.
Then it's not happening.
It's not
this
happening.
Year.
And what is that again?
Werewolf by Night.
And what is that?
This is.
Help us all refresh as we're entering the fall. Just about.
This is Jack Russell. This is his name, and he is a werewolf.
Jack Russell.
And there's
is he a terror?
Yes. There's going to be some vampires involved. some supernatural elements. I expect this to be full Halloween
movie show. We don't know.
It's a special.
I bet it's gonna be
so-
short.
It's a special.
So we might see like maybe an hour 10. You know,
yeah,
that's what I'm hoping for. Anyway,
that'd be great.
You know, a fully fleshed out story.
I'm excited about these specials.
And I think this character will branch into, you know, maybe we get with the Blade,
Yeah.
the Black Knight,
Yep.
something with the Midnight Suns.
Yep.
We might see in Phase 6.
Yep. All right. Anything else? Giggler, you got anything on the horizon?
You just talked about Midnight Suns. Unfortunately, that video game just got delayed.
Well,
Oh, did it?
But
Man,
I've been
I thought it
playing
was
Miles
supposed to be
Miles
out.
Morales Spider-Man the last couple weeks, and I'm enjoying that very much as well.
you're having
Yeah.
fun on the
Video games is taking a whole new level. I think I'm back. I'm sucked right back in.
and you're playing on what again?
PlayStation 4.
PlayStation.
Oh, that's right. Duh. It's
Yeah.
a Spider-Man game.
Oh,
Sony
yeah.
only.
Yep.
All right. Keep us posted on the games. You playing Guardians of the Galaxy?
I already beat that.
And you loved
One
it.
of my top 5 games I've ever played in my life.
It's got great.
Wow.
It's got great reviews. It's like unbelievable.
Top
I played
to
it.
bottom.
I was enjoying it, and I just kind of fell off. I'll have to.
I
go
liked
back.
it a lot.
It was
the story was
on
good.
Xbox Game Pass, so it's free if you guys have Game Pass.
There you go.
Try it out.
Well, we also have a couple contests still going on. Head over to the website, mostlysuperheroes.com/contest. You can also scan the QR code on your screen right now to get you there if you're watching us on your TV. Giving away a Coheed and Cambria, not cranberry, not the cranberries. I'm not gonna. And then also we have some merch given away. So you can get over the website, fill it out, let us know. We're everywhere. We're on Patreon. Get that pre-show exclusive with the unedited interview of everything you heard today. You're hearing mixes of Imran sprinkled throughout today's episode. How fun to have him back. Thank you to the Jock and Nerd Podcast for, come on, inspiring me for sure to kind of go down this road. 7 years ago, listen to a podcast for the first time in Chicago, to think that Imran is just popping in. We had a great, how fun was that, Andy?
That was the highlight of my day.
It was like its own podcast episode, really. We talked I think we talked for like 35 minutes.
Yeah, 30, 40 minutes.
Yes.
Sometimes you just got to give the people what they want, and everyone's been asking for this collaboration, and we gave it to you again.
An incursion of podcasts.
And he
Yes.
he invited us on the show. You guys too on Jock and Nerd. Go check out Jock and Nerd at jockandnerd.com. Join them on Facebook and the Jock and Nerd Nation. We're mostly superheroes. We're everywhere. And Patreon, you get that unedited interview. So the little snippet you heard today, you want the full unedited cut. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month, $12 a year. Patreon, mostlysuperheroes.com. Lots of ways to do it. Everywhere you get your podcasts, every social media channel. And go buy some merch. We got a lot of good merch, more music, events. Giving back is going to keep happening too. More of that happening at the website. And I want to talk about what's next. We got maybe Blade 2. That's an option. We could do The Boys for episode 11. We're on 10. Well, how about we didn't really talk about Stranger Things too much.
Yeah.
Are we going to wait for the 5th season, I think, maybe?
We're going to be waiting a while.
I know. So it's like maybe we should get in here and get that season
yeah.
4. I think it deserves it for sure.
Gosh, that's a lot of options.
Or something else.
Something else. I've
maybe
seen
Chris
that.
Chris B will pop in and be like, "Hey, I want to talk about."
Here's what we're talking about.
We didn't even get into that, but you heard on the fan mail earlier, Chris B, Authority, James, you guys all have first time introduction of content coupons. And once these guys redeem them, I've actually already talked to James. Guess what?
Uh-oh. Jamba Juice?
Yeah, 3rd place, right?
Yeah.
All right, he said, he wrote me back. Yeah, I was like, hey, don't forget to, I wrote them all. I was like, don't forget to write in the show. We got, you got that coupon. Throw it away if you don't use it for real, And he said, well, I'm getting married this week.
Whoa.
He goes, I'll come back on after the wedding. So we had to say, congratulations, James. on getting married.
Wow.
He won 3rd place in Super Smash Brothers at Well Spent Brewing. He was there with us and Tiny Superheroes. What these guys got are essentially a gift certificate that will allow them to get their topics on the show. So 3rd place, we're going to get him into something in fan mail. 2nd place, Authority, we're going to get you a nice Whatchu Watchin feature. And then Chris B, 1st place. He gets to pick the meat. He gets to pick the whole feature.
The meat.
And I'm telling you, we can't wait to do it. And hopefully I get all 3 of these guys on the podcast. So maybe something like that. So there's a few options. We don't need to decide today, but just to kind of give you guys some teases of what it could be. Just watch out. We'll let you know. Watch our socials. It'll happen. Scotty, Scoop, give us a nice send-off for the squad.
Oh, man. This is a banger. And, man, so much to talk about. It was great. I loved every second of it. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Logan, Giggler. Great episode.
This is a
going home with a smile on my face.
This is a Grateful Goat right here.
And a new album.
And a new album to go with
Yes,
it. Absolutely.
yes.
Giggler?
Oh man, I concur with all of the above. This is the best time of year for real. Get some lake weekends like last weekend. You guys are just on the beaches of Mexico.
Yes.
But oh man,
we didn't even talk about Mexico.
We didn't talk about
guys.
Mexico.
Oh my god.
Scotty and I went to Mexico together.
Senor Papi.
And we did call him Senor Papi. We'll have to get a picture maybe up on the screen. I might put this into post. I mean, he looked like the owner of the place to where we were like literally being like, this guy's the owner of the place. Let's see if we can get some free drinks. But pretty grateful as well.
yes,
It sounds like.
I'm grateful for this as well. Thank you.
Enjoy the
for this.
midnight, dude.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, you talk about it. You talk about summer hits.
Yeah.
I'll pop it on
That was a good album.
tomorrow.
All right. Tell Shanna hi. Tell Steph hi. Tell all the boys hey. All the crew that's been following us. We had so many people show up for our latest in-person event, and we're gonna keep doing stuff. We're hitting our stride. We're having fun, and we got big stuff on the horizon. We're talking to some more, you can't believe it, even bigger guests that are gonna be coming on the show, and it's just happening all at mostlysuperheroes.com. We appreciate every single one of you that take the time to come see us when we're in here in the studio, when you're watching us, you're listening. I hope you're enjoying the program. We're gonna keep it going for you. Have a great time. Take it easy out there. Have a cool life. And we'll see you next time on Mostly Superheroes. Take it easy.